Thank you for logging on to this broadcast of high school sports on WellsCountyVoice.com. WellsCountyVoice.com, an online service that allows fans and parents to watch high school sports live anywhere and anytime that's convenient for your schedule. As always, we encourage you to go to the games and support the students, but when you simply can't, we're glad you're here with us. This broadcast wouldn't be possible without the support of the sponsors you hear throughout the game, so please support these businesses whenever you can. Now, sit back and enjoy the game.
Live from Waterloo and Young Field, welcome to another production of high school football on WellsCountyVoice.com. Good evening, friends, and welcome aboard alongside Colin Schwartz, Alex Howard. I'm Derek Decker. Pleasure to be with you here as we present another week of high school football action. We're already in week 7. We're closing in on tournament time. Here tonight, these are two teams coming off of a win. Colin, we'll start with you. Norwell last week took it to East Noble in what was undoubtedly the most impressive win of the season, a shutout of a very efficient Knight offense, and they were good from start to finish, and a trademark of the defense forcing turnovers.
And really one of their most impressive wins in quite some time. Last year when they beat East Noble had the excuse of a few injuries, a few guys being out. That was the biggest win I can remember for Norwell in quite some time. And then they're facing a Dekalb team that just came off their first win of the season, so they're feeling pretty high too. So, like you said, coming into tournament time, it's time to figure out who the cream of the crop is, and I think Norwell needs to prove it pretty quickly here tonight.
And you are listening to the Billy Ann's Supper Pub pregame show. Billy Ann's Supper Pub is located in downtown Bluffton. It's your local choice for Tex-Mex, some of the best burgers in the area, and some of the best American food as well. Alex, this DeKalb team, Colin mentioned it, coming off of their first win of the season, thrilling fashion. They came back from 2 touchdowns down in the fourth quarter and went for 2 late in the game to win 50-49, an absolute thriller down in Huntington. This is an offense that DeKalb has that has the potential to put up some points. They throw it a lot, and they're going to try to spread it out against this stout Norwell defense.
Yeah, talking to Coach Eric Morgan before the game, he said they have some athletes around. It's just the size, or they have good size too. It's just the speed that hinders them, and they matched up pretty well against Huntington North last week. So we'll see how the Norwell defense is able to attack DeKalb tonight.
Starting quarterback Tegan Irk threw for 309 yards and 5 touchdowns last week at Huntington North. We're a short time away from kickoff here. We're also about to have the national anthem. Why don't we take a short break? We'll return with the balance of the Billy Ann's Supper Pub pregame show right after this on WellsCountyVoice.com, part of the Voice Sports Network and the IHSAA Champions Network.
American Mortgage Service Company, located at 1169 North Main Street in Bluffton. We specialize in helping individuals realize their dream of homeownership by providing a top-notch, best mortgage experience. We offer a wide variety of loan programs and the most current rates available.
Contact Angie Top or Jessica Best at 260-353-3000 or apply online at bluffton.americanmortgage.com. This is not an offer for the extension of credit or a commitment to lend. American Mortgage, NMLS ID 8246. Angie Top, NMLS ID 478736. Jessica Best, NMLS ID 613932. American Mortgage is an equal housing lender.
Hello, Tim Stephan Financial Group. It's been said nothing is certain except change. We must adapt to change to stay safe and move forward. What changes have there been in your life? At Stephan Financial Group, we would like to work with you and help with your future planning. Call me, Tim Stephan, or Michelle Stoller, 260-824-8175. Stephan Financial Group, 110 West Cherry Street, Bluffton, Indiana. Retirement, investments, savings plans. Stephan Financial Group can also assist with your personalized Medicare supplement, health, life, and long-term care plans. 260-824-8175. Stephan Financial Group. Solid planning, local service, professional advice. Securities and insurance offered through Thurston Springer Financial, a registered broker-dealer, member FINRA and SIPC, and Indiana Insurance Agency. Tim Stephan is a registered associate of Thurston Springer Financial and is doing business as Stephan Financial Group. Tim Stephan and Stephan Financial Group are independent of Thurston Springer Financial.
In business since 1981, Barkley Builders has been building residential homes and commercial projects in Northeast Indiana, taking pride in building their clients the best project for their budget. With interaction between clients, vendors, and trade contractors, Barkley Builders meets the needs of homeowners to build their forever home. At Barkley Builders, it's all about you. It's your heart and your soul at the center of every design decision made. Josh and his team are poised to build the home you've always wanted. It isn't just a home, it's your forever home. Contact Barkley Builders at 260-622-7674. That's 622-7674. Or find them on Facebook at Barkley Builders, Inc. Let Barkley Builders get started on your Barkley Built Forever home.
Cleaning One Incorporated, your cleaning specialists. They offer a great variety of cleaning services, commercial cleaning, cleaning windows, strip and wax floors, clean carpets, complete sanitizing of facilities, floor repair or replacement. They will also schedule a PM maintenance program.
At Cleaning One, your security is their top priority. They do a complete background check on each of their employees so you can feel good about letting them into your homes. For more information, give Rob a call at 260-409-2564 or give Bob a call, 260-403-7676. Or you can simply send them an email at officeonecleaning@yahoo.com.
Cleaning One Incorporated, your cleaning specialists.
Kathy Peterson of the Steffen Group is part of a select group of real estate and auction professionals that are changing the game of how real estate and auction transactions are handled. With a strong background in customer service, Kathy believes helping people is the most precious gift she can give and is committed to being a partner with her clients through the entire transaction. Contact Kathy Peterson at the Steffen Group at 824-6353 or drop her a message at Kathy, Cathie.Peterson at SteffenGRP.com.
Did you sprain your ankle playing with your kids last night? Have you had a nagging pain while training for an upcoming race? Or do you have an upcoming surgery? Indiana Physical Therapy understands how important and valuable your time is to you. At Indiana Physical Therapy, we can schedule you within 24 hours at any of our 19 convenient clinics. With trusted results, you can count on Indiana Physical Therapy to get you better, faster. You don't need a referral from your doctor, and all insurances are accepted, including Anthem. IPT is your choice for physical therapy. So what are you waiting for? Call Indiana Physical Therapy right now at 260-209 Indiana Physical Therapy, where people go to get better.
Soaring high above, exploring our planet. A professional timepiece designed to take flight. Citizen ProMaster. Go beyond.
Daniel's Jewelers on North Main Street in Bluffton, where personal service and trust become part of the memory.
Do you have the power to move your career? AAM's Bluffton manufacturing facility is quickly growing and looking for machine operators, assembly workers, and more to join them as they deliver power to move the world. Opportunities offer competitive wages, full benefits package, shift premiums, immediate paid time off, 11 paid holidays, and endless opportunities for growth and development. At AAM Bluffton Manufacturing Facility, the power starts with our people. Apply today. www.aam.com/Bluffton or call 260-824-6870. That's 824-6870 for more information.
At Corrective Chiropractic, we offer individualized treatment plans for patients of all ages, from infants to elderly, and even during pregnancy. Have you ever experienced a workplace, sports, or auto accident, or just suffer from chronic pain? Corrective Chiropractic can help. Knee, neck, shoulder, or back pain, headaches, migraines, allergies, muscular tension. Corrective Chiropractic can help. I'm Dr. Josh Bell from Corrective Chiropractic. We welcome patients from Bluffton, Yoder, Decatur, Bern, Montpelier, and the surrounding areas. Schedule your appointment today today at 260-353-1400 and let Corrective Chiropractic help you along your journey to health and wellness. Corrective Chiropractic, 360 North Main Street, Suite A, Dutch Mill Plaza. Feel and function better.
Is filled with fabulous golf courses that offer a variety of experiences and are as diverse and distinct as the regions they're in. And there is one right here in your backyard that you shouldn't miss. Green Valley Golf Club, located at 2635 East, 150 North in Bluffton. You deserve a little time on the greens, so book your tee time, brush off your spikes, and get ready to play. Green Valley Golf Club, located at 2635 East, 150 North in Bluffton, just east of the Stone Quarry.
Head on out to Green Valley to hit some balls on their driving range or putting green. Call 824-4510 to reserve your tee time. Green Valley, where your friends play.
Michael Vanover for Wells County Commissioner. Michael is CEO of an industry-leading business here in Wells County, Clean Fuels. As an entrepreneur and small business owner, Michael is on your team for Wells County. Through his proven leadership, we can improve Wells County infrastructure by working closely with state and federal legislatures for matching funds, expand residential development by leveraging relationships with developers and inside knowledge of how growth happens, helping Wells County stay safe by supporting law enforcement and understanding their needs. Elect Michael Vanover for Wells County Commissioner in 2022.
Welcome back here to Young Field in Waterloo. Derek Decker with Alex Howard, Colin Schwartz. A couple keys to the game. Colin will start with Norwell. This is a team that comes in ranked number 9 this week in 3A. They're 5-1. Theoretically still in the hunt for the NE8 title, although they're going to need help from Leo at this point. What's important to go on the road here and make sure you don't have a letdown after a big win last week?
Well, if you're Norwell, you're probably the favorite here tonight. So I would say the big thing is just, take the momentum away from DeKalb early. Don't let them get anything going. Just get ahead early, and, as good as they are at running the ball, if you get ahead early, a score, 2 scores, this game could be over pretty quickly.
Alex, for DeKalb, this is a team coming off its first win of the year. They have not had a lot of success to this point under Seth Wilcox, just 3-11. They had a lot of COVID problems, especially at the beginning of last year, and went through a lot of things. It's hard to take anything away from last year, and this is basically an entirely new starting lineup. They had a ton of seniors last year. What's important for the Barons here at home tonight?
Well, this DeKalb defense has given up a lot of yards per carry to teams, and Norwell's going to come in here and think they can get whatever they want to the ground. So you have to limit the big plays on the ground for Norwell. You got to hold them to 1, 2, 3, 4 yards to carry and make them really grind for their points. You can't let Norwell bust off huge runs drive after drive.
401 yards a game given up by this Baron defense to this point in the season. 263 a game on the ground, and 20 of the 31 touchdowns have been given up in the rushing department. Meanwhile, offensively for DeKalb, this is a team that 14 of their 16 touchdowns scored on the season have been through the air. So you understand what their strength is, what they try to do. Tegan Erk has thrown for 11 touchdowns, but his completion percentage is just shy of 50%. He's attempted 169 passes with 5 picks. Also a storyline to continue to watch coming in, and I'm sure this is going to change tonight because I just said it. Leighton Bailey still has not thrown a pick in 6 games this year, 26 of 49 for 53%. 14 yards of completion and 4 touchdowns on the season. Norwell only attempted 4 passes last week, completed 3 times for 22 total yards, and maybe the biggest stat of the game, they ran 71 plays to East Noble's 39. That's a huge stat. They absolutely controlled the clock. They controlled the game. And, Colin, they really set the tone right at the start by going down for a 7+ minute drive, 78 yards, and punching it in on the first drive. Important, like you said, to get ahead early.
And, that's why I like what I just saw from Norwell. They won the toss and elected to receive. I think they have the same mindset that I just said, where we want to get ahead early and put to bed any hope that DeKalb may have.
All right, well, DeKalb is in the home black here tonight. Norwell is in the visiting white with navy blue pants. DeKalb with the kind of gray, off-gray pants and the black helmets with a white stripe down the middle. And we're so happy that you can be along with us here for this Friday night broadcast. Hard to believe it's week 7 already. Football season always flies by. It just feels like, especially this year, we haven't even had the weather turn yet, so still feels like we're early in the season, but there's a lot to be determined. We're only a week and a half away from the pairing show to find out who Norwell takes on in sectional. Right now, we were kind of talking about this on the drive up here today. When you look at the sectional, Norwell's a heavy favorite right now against the other 7 teams in the sectional. That's got to be a real comforting thing heading into this time of the season, especially when the schedule, at least for the next couple of weeks, begins to lighten up after your most difficult stretch.
Well, I can guarantee you that Coach Gerber hasn't really looked forward to that yet.
Agreed.
He wants to focus on this season, take it a week at a time, and like you said, there's still a lot to be decided in the Sunny 8. Like you said, there's going to need to be help from Leo or whoever's Leo playing, maybe. But there's still a lot to figure out, a lot to get better at. We even heard from maybe a quote-unquote inside source from the Norwell football team that they want to work on throwing the ball a little bit more. We may see some of that tonight. So, a lot to focus on still if you're Norwell.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This should be a really fun one here tonight. Dekalb with that high-powered offense that throws the ball a lot. They throw it everywhere. Norwell will receive to start things off here tonight. So glad you could join us on this Friday night, wrapping up our Billy Ann's Supper Pub pregame show located in downtown Bluffton. We're into our first quarter. Derek Decker with Alex Howard, Colin Schwartz, both members in some form or another of the Norwell football and the Taylor football programs at the high school and collegiate levels, respectively. Nice crowd here on hand tonight. A decent visiting crowd has traveled about the hour-long drive from Ossian as Dekalb will kick off left to right here to get us underway tonight. The kickoff man is Logan Wilson, the senior, and he had some issues last week in this department, some rather short kickoffs. Puts his right foot into it. It is relatively deep. It's back to the 10-yard line where it can be returned. Trying to bust it to the outside out across the 35-yard line on the return is Drew Graft, the freshman, in a nice return of 25 yards, and the Knights set up shop in good field position on their first drive.
Like I said, let's see how fast Norwell can get going. Like we said, we heard that they may try to throw the ball a little bit more. But if you're Norwell on this first drive, just come out and establish what you do well, especially against the DeKalb defense that all season long has been very good against the run.
Yeah, they have really struggled in that department, and that's a scary thing when you're playing a team like Norwell who tries to pound it on the ground and establish. I said this last week, and it kind of gets to your point, Colin. I said Norwell should take the ball first every game the rest of the season. Yeah. And the first play is a handoff and a big hole for John Colbert, who gets the carry on the first drive and the first play of the game, and he rips one off for 9 yards to the outside hash.
That's one thing DeKalb has to limit. They have to limit, 9, 10, 11-yard rushes right off the bat. Norwell's going to take that, and they're going to keep going.
Clock still has not moved off of our kickoff time. We expect a game that might last a little bit longer than normal, just based on the fact that DeKalb, what they do in their arsenal is throw the football a little bit. Second down and a yard here, and the toss goes to Luke Graff for his first carry of the night. He escapes a tackle, gets a block downfield. He's out across the 45. DeKalb didn't wrap him up, and finally he's pushed out of bounds out across the DeKalb 32-yard line. The tackle made by the linebacker Mitch Snyder, and it's a big gainer to flip the field.
I'll tell you what, Luke Graff just slipped off a tackle that time. I mean, someone had him wrapped up along the sideline, should have at least been able to push him out, and he just fell off of him like he was greased up.
Graft averaging 9 yards a carry, 11 touchdowns on the season. He went for $163 with 2 scores last week. First and 10 for the Knights on the DeKalb 32-yard line with Colbert and Graft both in the backfield. 2 wide on first down. Bailey will toss it short, dumps it off to Graft. Graft cuts up to the middle and falls forward across the 30. A first down gain of 3.
Yeah, that's a play where if your home run's not open right away, you just dump it off to the running back, let him get as many yards as possible.
Yeah, he had one read there, wasn't open right away. They were able to drop back what they needed to. Good little dump off, get what you can, stay ahead of the sticks.
Knights right to left in this first quarter. Here on your computer screen, tablet, TV. John Colbert on second down, and he's wrapped up from behind. Colbert, again, down across the 25-yard line. Talk about it every game about how the Norwell backs fall forward. It was Mitch Snyder in on the tackle for DeKalb, but it brings up a third down and 2.
I expect Norwell to run the ball here, obviously, to get a first down. But if you are DeKalb, you can't fall asleep for a little play action because this is definitely 4-down territory if you're Norwell.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Even though you do have the leg of De Leon back in the arsenal here, and happy to say that he's healthy and ready to go. He knocked through a big field goal last week. Toss goes to Graff. There's a hold, and this play will come back. Graff's down inside the 15, but this play will bring up 3rd down and long. After the enforced penalty, we'll get our first call from Robert Bryant, the White Hat, here tonight. Is indeed a hold. I think Graff probably would have gotten the edge without the hold as well, so it's a frustrating penalty for Josh Gerber's offensive group.
Yeah, it would have been close. It's sometimes hard when you're trying to run past somebody, just not to grab them and make sure they're out of the way. But nonetheless, long 3rd down here for Norwell.
Back to the 36. Norwell on the season converting 46% of their 3rd downs. That's a good number. And last week, Colin, they were really quality, 10 for 15. Hand off to Colbert, so obviously setting up for a 4th down play, although they didn't get as many as they'd like. Colbert's down to the 31-yard line, and it brings up a 4th down and 9 on Norwell's first drive.
I was expecting something maybe a little bit more to the field there, try and get outside, try and get some playmakers in space. I understand what he was trying to do, you get yourself into a 4th and reasonable, but a play up the middle like that, even as dicey as this DeKalb defense has been, I guess I was expecting something a little more to the field. Interested to see it. Sorry to interrupt you there, but I'm interested to see what kind of play Norwell designs right here.
4th down and 9. And Bailey drops it, and DeKalb jumps on it. And the Knights turn it over here on their first drive. That's Norwell's 3rd turnover of the season. They are plus 12 in the turnover margin coming into the game. And DeKalb will take over on their own 35-yard line. Norwell's first drive sputters inside the DeKalb 35.
Yeah, just a broken play to begin with. Bad snap or a fumbled snap. Running back kind of almost ran into Leighton there, and Leighton wasn't able to get a handle of it. And kind of a worse start here for the Knights after a good drive.
So they ate up just over 2 minutes of that first quarter clock, and DeKalb will start on their first drive. Expect a lot of passes. They average about 28 attempts a game. It's a hard count on first down. The second clap is the snap. They pull it back, and the pass is complete to the outside where Donnie Wiley was waiting for the completed catch. 5 yards on first down and tackled at the 40-yard line.
A little RPO action there from DeKalb. That's, every year it gets a little more popular in every level of football, and it can be hard to defend because, you got to read. If you got a quarterback that can read that well, it's easy to pick up chunk yards like that.
Wiley makes his team-leading 28th catch of the season. Snap back. Irk will keep it on second down, and he is met at the 38-yard line, or the 42-yard line, rather. Aiden Rusu in on the tackle alongside Blake Hafley, and DeKalb will have a 3rd down and 3.
Once again, you can run an RPO on just about every down. No matter what the situation is, 1st and 10, 2nd and 10, 3rd and short, 2nd and long, you can run it on anything. You can dial up whatever route you want. So that's the beauty of an offense like this.
Irk claps for the snap and has it. Tosses right, and the catch is made for first down yardage. Logan Montoya fighting for the extra yard. He needed 3. He got 4. And they will move the chains. Trace Mosier on the stop for the Knights. And DeKalb has their first down.
Now, Alex, I don't know what you think there, but that seemed like the wrong time to bring a blitz if you're Norwell. On a 3rd and short like that, it's easy just to pick up a hot route, especially on an RPO offense, and they were able to hit that pretty easily.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to suck yourself up too much especially against a passing defense like this. You can allow short routes behind your linebackers and get yourself out of position real quick.
No room for Mitch Snyder, who is just shy of 300 yards in the rushing department. They only average 77 yards a game on the ground. So, again, you know where their strengths are. 2nd and 10 with 3 wide. That's a false start. Senior, who got a little bit of an early start, just kind of flinched. It'll back DeKalb up, their first penalty of the night.
False start on the Barons. That's 5 yards.
This is a Norwell defense that shut out a pretty prolific offense in East Noble last week. Norwell's kind of made a name for themselves on defense. This is exactly what you can't have happen if you're DeKalb. Whenever you get behind the sticks like this, you're almost trying to pick up 2 different first downs.
Right. Norwell's only given up 31% on 3rd down this year. Pass again is complete to Logan Montoya. Montoya back to the original line of scrimmage plus a yard. He picks up 6.
You see, that's a really good play from Dekalb there. That got him 6, 7 yards, but now it's still 3rd and 9. You still got a long way to go.
Penalty really does kill you in a situation there, and it's a penalty where you're frustrated as a head coach, especially on the first drive, but you understand what's going on as far as getting into pre-snap penalties. It's a frustrating thing against a good Norwell defense. Backfield clears out. Irk will throw it complete across the 50, but not near first down yardage. Donnie Wiley makes his second grab, and it's Stuart McCabe and Cade Shelton on the stop for Norwell. 4th down and 5. Dekalb brings on the punting unit.
You know, I'm a little surprised Dekalb's not going for this, to be quite honest with you. But, you know, if you're Norwell right there, I feel like that's where you want to bring a blitz on 3rd and 9, try and force a turnover, a bad throw. I mean, they relatively gave themselves a shot to go for it on 4th down. It seems like Norwell's kind of backwards on that. That's where you want to bring the pressure, try and get a quarterback who's in his first year starting to make a quick decision.
Ticking towards 6 minutes left of the first quarter. Back to punt is Logan Wilson. And Wilson will boot this one back to the 13-yard line. Return made by the Knights. And stood up at the 20-yard line is Cohen Bailey, the return man, maybe just behind the 20. It's a return of about 6, and the Knights are going to set up just inside their own 20 for their second drive. Hey, Nick Huffman's a Bluffton High School graduate, and he's ready to help you buy, sell, or build your dream home. Nick is part of the Steffen Group and can be reached at 827-8255, or find him on Facebook at Real Estate by Nick Huffman. 6:05 left in our opening quarter, and both of the first drives kind of sputtered, and so Norwell backed up. Will have to go a long way for points. Well, the Knights moved the ball really with relative ease until that holding penalty kind of thwarted that drive, and really you could argue the false start penalty killed the Dekalb drive. First down, pass to Bodenheimer's incomplete. I will say, Norwell's tried to run that several times this year, and that's the best covered it's been all year. Bodenheimer had a defender right in his grill.
Well, Dekalb brought the blitz off the other side from where they were trying to throw that, so Dekalb had all of their defenders over there, easy, knock away, and Norwell's actually pretty fortunate that ball wasn't picked off.
That's Landon Armstrong, the middle linebacker, wearing number 25 in these black jerseys. 2nd and 10. Toss goes to Graft. Graft with a burst of speed, gets a block, cuts it to the outside, has a first down, and dances and finally wrapped up across the 30-yard line. This will move the sticks, and Graft runs for 12 to get the first down.
It's kind of hard to tell up here because we're quite a bit away from the field, separated by track and Dekalb bench, but it feels really slow. This game feels like both teams are kind of still trying to get their feet under them, defensively, offensively, just all around. So I'm wondering when this game's going to pick up a little bit.
I had that same feeling, Alex, on both of the team's first drives. Everything just didn't seem very crisp.
Graft slips through the big tackle, and he's out across the 50-yard line, spinning forward down inside the 45, and now the Knights starting to stack up some big runs. If they can get the run game going, it spells trouble for Dekalb, and they're again inside Barron territory.
Yeah, that goes back to what Alex is saying in pregame, that you want to stay away from the big play if you're Dekalb, especially if Norwell's going to run it for big yards. You got to stay away from those 10, 15-plus yard runs, 20-plus yard passes. If they can't stop that, this is going to be a long night for them.
Norwell going a bit up tempo as well. They were quick to get to the line and a little slower to run the play, but just making sure Dekalb's ready for it defensively. And Graft hurdles over a guy that was laying on the ground and is brought down at the 34-yard line. First down run of 9, and that's 3 straight runs of 8 yards or more.
I really like when teams do that. They get a big run like that, whatever the chunk run was for Graft on the play before that, and hurrying up to the line. Don't let the defense switch personnel, get some tired D linemen maybe, and just run up tempo and don't let them get settled in.
Second down at a yard here for the Knights inside Dekalb territory, deepening again. The pitch to Graft. And Graft's inside the 25 and starting to showcase Norwell's going to the edges here on this second drive, stretching out the Dekalb defense, and they've had a little more success.
Yeah, Norwell's definitely saw something on film this week that said they could run to the outside because a lot of times they like to run behind Poland. They're on the interior, but now they're going outside. Must have found a matchup they like against an outside linebacker.
DeKalb also has some big boys there on the interior.
They sure do. Right up front, 6'2", 300, 5'1", 270 at D tackle and nose tackle. Bailey rolling to his right, throwing on the run, and Cade Shelton makes the grab as he's moving out of bounds for another first down. Cade Shelton makes just his third grab of the year, and he has Norwell in position down inside the red zone.
You know, we were talking pregame about how, Eli Riley was such a good passer, and that made Norwell tough to defend last year since they could run and pass. But we have seen Leighton Bailey grow every single week and get just a little bit better throwing the ball, feel a little more comfortable. And that was a play action throw on the run, put it on the money for Shelton. That's a great play and very encouraging if you're Norwell.
Bodenheimer in motion. He was blocking for Graft. And he gets 3 on first down. Again, this is kind of goes back to the point that we always discuss with the Norwell offensive line being able to push up front to get 2-3 yards basically every play whenever they want.
And then if they can find out a way to mix in that play action too, they're going to be tough to stop. Because you got to respect the run. If you don't respect the run against Norwell, they're going to run for 200-plus yards.
Right.
But if they can mix in that play action, get comfortable with that, it's going to be tough to defend.
Averaging 300 a game coming into tonight. Graff stretching it to the outside, inside the 5, dragged down and pushed out of bounds at about the 3-yard line. Should be shy of another first down. And I guess they're going to put him right at the 2. And so third down and less than a yard coming up for Norwell inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see another run yet here from the Knights. Trying to punch one in here, break the scoreless quarter here.
Way to go out on a limb there, Alex.
We like bold predictions on this show.
See, this is where Norwell's offense, too, can be you can be creative a little bit. You got that H-back where you can run that play action, just run them out into the flats. That's my favorite play that any team runs whenever they're, in short yard situation, down by the goal line. Run the play action and then leak that H-back out into the flat. He's tough to pick up, and you can just dump it off for an easy few-yard gain, and for here it'd be a touchdown.
They're going to bring a measurement all the way to the opposite sideline. And so our chain gang getting in work already here tonight. By the way, do know that our YouTube stream is choppy and buffering in and out. If you're having problems with that, head on over to the IHSAA Champions Network, IHSAATV.org, and it should be a little smoother over there if you're having problems. Connection's not fantastic here outside of DeKalb. Will depend on the spot, but they needed to get to the 2, and it will be third down.
It'll be third down and inches. Let's go, Barron defense. Come on, Barron.
Well, it really feels like this first quarter is dragged. I mean, big time. Look, I said it last week. Like, the clock didn't even stop on the first drive for the Knights because they ran it like 11 times and went for a touchdown, 7 minutes. Didn't take any problems. Now they'll respot it in the middle to make sure the same spot is correct.
Well, going off of that, too, if the first quarter is taking this long with no points on the board.
Right. What's going to happen when teams start scoring touchdowns?
This game is going to take a long time.
Good thing we don't have any better place to be tonight. New and Schwander at the top of the screen. It's Bailey at the bottom. Colbert alongside Graft in the backfield.
No street fair to get to tonight.
Well, they've certainly got one here in town.
Oh, that's true.
It always goes from Bluffton up to Auburn before they head to Florida for the winter. Third down and less than a yard here for the Knights. Hand off to Graft, pushing to the goal line, and he's in for a touchdown.
Oh, I think everybody in the stadium knew what play was coming right there from Norwell. It just doesn't matter sometimes. Sometimes one offensive line is just better or a team is just better, and that's what Norwell kind of gave them right there. It was like, you know what's coming, but we're going to run it anyway. Stop it if you can. And they really, they had 2 tries there if they didn't get it on the first one. So good drive from Norwell, way to get ahead. Their defense got a big stop. The key for me for Norwell tonight was to get ahead early, and that's what Norwell's doing now.
De Leon on for the PAT. No problem at all. De Leon's long boot is through, and the Knights take a 7-0 lead. They score on their second drive after sputtering on their first drive, and be it preventive maintenance, repair, or replacement, Bluffton Roofing owner James Worth will suggest the proper course of action that's best for your home. Bluffton Roofing, quality first, home improvement. And at Heidi Automotive Group, their next satisfied customer will be you. Serving Wells County and the surrounding area with a great selection of new and used vehicles with an outstanding service department. Visit HeidiMotors.com to view their inventory. So the Knights score on their second drive of the night, really with relative ease in the rushing department on that drive. They had no problem moving the football easily down the field on that second drive. Colin really stretching things to the outside. Kind of mentioned it in the middle of that drive, but they began to have success when they pushed DeKalb's defense to the edge.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty long drive if you're Norwell. I mean, where did they start at? About the 19-yard line.
Right.
Nice, long 9-yard drive. Take some time off the clock, even though it didn't feel like it.
Well, it took some time, all right.
Some big chunk plays there. They were able to get down, and they did what they do so well. They ran the ball 7 times on that drive out of 9 plays. So once again, it was just everybody knew what they were going to do, but sometimes one team is just better and you can't stop it.
Drew Kraft on to kick this one away here for the Knights. The freshman's been outstanding in this department. Quite frankly, all season long, had a good number of touchbacks. This is a high, shorter kick, as it will be received just outside the 10-yard line. Donnie Wiley on the return for DeKalb. He tries to break it to the outside. Stuart McCabe throws him down, and a penalty marker comes in from the opposite side of the field. That was a long toss, and so we'll check the marker.
I'll tell you what, Donnie Wiley is listed at 6'3", 190, but, man, he is put together. He looks a little more than 190.
Yeah.
And he can be a tough guy that it looks like to bring down, and Norwell's really lucky. Who made that tackle on that last play?
That was McCabe that came across.
Man, he kept that from getting outside. If he gets outside, he was gone on that one.
I've really been impressed with McCabe's ability to do things on special teams, especially this year. He's been really good in that department. The penalty goes against DeKalb, so it'll back him up inside the 20, so it negates a pretty good return. But, McCabe's been really, really good all year long, frankly, from the start of the season.
Yeah, he's a good kid with a good motor. He works hard.
All right, first down for DeKalb on their own 17-yard line. This is their second drive. Urk claps for the snap. He will sling it to the left. It's intercepted by John Colbert, and he is going to trot into the end zone for a pick six. John Colbert picks off Urk, and the Knights all of a sudden take a 2-score lead.
They brought a blitz there, Norwell did, on that first down, forced them to get the ball out a little quicker, and they threw it to where there was a lot of defenders, and that's a great play. And, this is danger zone. I know it's only the first quarter, but this is danger zone if you're DeKalb. You can't let this get out of hand quick, because the way Norwell runs the ball, this game could get over in a hurry if this game gets stretched out anymore.
Yeah, and miscues like that for DeKalb are going to spell a long night for DeKalb. And we could even see the running clock implemented here in the second half.
Well, we're a ways away from that.
Ways from that.
De Leon boots the PAT through once again. The Knights, by the way, if you're wondering, on the season, with that extra point, that makes them 30 for 31. De Leon 9 for 9. And Sloan, in his place to start the season for the first 5 games, was 21 for 22. 3:24 left in the first quarter at the Kaler Nickel Foundation YMCA. Visit their location at 550 West Usman in Bluffton. When you join the Y, you're not just a member of a facility, you're a part of something greater. Take the first step towards a healthier you and join the Y. Norwell leading DeKalb 14-0. That's the kind of game, the kind of play that can spark a defense, spark some energy, and Norwell, quite frankly, looked a little bit slow out of the gate here tonight on the road, which, frankly, was to be expected to some degree. You're coming off of an emotional win last week at home over East Noble, a shutout win against a good offense nonetheless. You come out a little sluggish tonight, but the pick six can really spark your team into a good spot.
A big win last week and a long bus ride up here to
You don't miss those, do you?
No, I do not. So like you said, it is to be expected a little bit. Kind of a long pregame too with the homecoming.
Right.
But now they're getting out of the gates, and like I said, I feel like this is danger zone for DeKalb. This game has a chance of getting out of hand here soon.
Feels like we just did this. The kickoff once again goes back to the 5-yard line, and boy, there really wasn't much room up the middle there. I think it was Nate Williams, the senior. No, it wasn't on the return. It was actually Alex Leslie. And so he gets out to the 20-yard line, but didn't even have a spot where he could turn on the jets and try to bust anything. And so DeKalb in very similar starting field position. Last time they had a penalty on the return. Second interception of the year for John Colbert. Honorable mention, NE8 at corner last year. He's over at safety this year. And read that one all the way, and no problem. It was Erk's sixth interception of the year. That one taken back for a score. The second defensive touchdown scored by the Knights this year. Handoff on first down, and that's a good first down run. Close to the 30-yard line. Looks like Mitch Snyder on the carry. And he is the featured back in this DeKalb offense. He's also caught 9 passes on the year. And that's one of DeKalb's bigger plays already here tonight.
This is where DeKalb can open it up a little bit, maybe expect a shot here if you're Norwell.
Yeah, second down and 1. They feel confident in their ability to get a yard. And Erk will keep it, and he's not going to get the first down. In fact, might not even gotten back to the line of scrimmage. That's where they'll mark him, right at the 29-yard line. And already third down and 1. And, Colin, you're a little befuddled by the play call.
Well, I'm wondering if maybe the pick 6 scared DeKalb's coaches a little bit.
I don't think so. I mean, they throw it. I've thrown 170 times coming into the year, coming into the game.
But now you're like, what do you do? You know, that the run doesn't work. Are you going to throw the quick little out on the RPO again?
Instead, the give to Snyder, and he doesn't get it.
I don't understand.
They had second down and less than a yard. Erk on the keeper on second down. And then third down, Snyder is snuffed out behind the line of scrimmage by Brody Bolin, who got good pressure up front alongside Cole Patrick. And DeKalb goes 3 and out.
And you're just going away from your identity if you're DeKalb. You're known for throwing the ball and throwing it pretty well. And, you know, second and short, that's where a team that can throw the ball can throw it short. We were told by Coach Eric Morgan that Mr. Erk can throw the ball a long way.
He can.
He has a big arm.
He does.
So I'm very surprised at that play calling.
This is a short end-over-end boot from Logan Wilson, and it takes a Norwell bounce. I don't know what Bailey's doing close to the football. And it'll bounce to a rest at the 50-yard line. That's just a 22-yard punt. Actually, 21. They'll mark it at the 49. So less than ideal. Norwell starts in plus territory.
You know, I said this is danger zone for DeKalb. We're seeing it come true now. You know, the last thing second to last thing you would want behind a turnover is a 3 and out and giving Norwell the ball in plus territory. And I mean, if Norwell can put this up 21-0 here on this drive, man, it'll feel like this game is over pretty quickly.
I was going to say, you'll feel pretty good about your chances.
Yeah, and if you're Norwell right now, maybe you take a shot. Maybe you try to go up 21-0 right now.
Yeah.
Just take the shot and.
Well, we were told that might be a possibility at some point tonight. This is not a Norwell team that's a big play team through the air, obviously. Again, they all threw for 22 yards in a shutout win over a top 10 4A team last week. It's just not their MO. Bailey will throw it on first down. Has good protection, stands in the pocket, takes a lick, and Cade Shelton just fell down at the 20-yard line. Shelton was behind the safety and would have had at least a big gainer, maybe a touchdown. And I tell you what, Bailey took a shot in on the play. He stood in the pocket, and he knew he was going to get blasted and let it fly anyway.
Yeah, big, kind of behind Shelton there, obviously, or understandable if he's going to get blown up. A little bit behind Shelton there. Shelton trying to stop here. I'm guessing the grass is getting a little slick with the sun going down. But again, big shot. We said we kind of said it. Norwell might do that, and I expect them to go back to the run here.
And they do. Colbert with a good block. Colbert has a first down, and he lowers his shoulder and is across the 40-yard line down to the 36. And Quentin Penrod, the safety, comes up to make the tackle. Colbert rips one off for 14 and another Norwell first down.
And, you know, being able to run the ball as well as Norwell does, that makes you feel a little more comfortable to take those shots on first down if you want.
That's right.
So, you know, that's the beauty of having an offense that runs the ball for 300-plus yards a game.
That's a very good point, Colin. That's when you have such a strong run game that's really only been limited by one team, and that's Leo, all year long. They've been able to get the yards whenever they wanted. There's another good block to the outside, and Colbert is dragged down from behind. Coming on to finish off the tackle were a couple of extra Barons, and a first down gain of 2 for John Colbert. Tackle made on the inside by Memo Camarena.
If Norwell just stays ahead of the sticks, it always feels like they have a pretty good shot at getting a first down, doesn't it? I mean, just a 2-3 yard gain there on first down. They could even throw the ball here, throw an incomplete pass, and I'd still think they're going to get a first down by the end of the drive.
Well, that's because they're going to, obviously in 4-down territory here.
Right.
And just kind of a dive up the middle down to the 31. And again, to your point, 3 yards every single play whenever they want it.
Yeah, and you're even getting the DeKalb fans clapping here, but that was a 4 or 5 yard gain, makes it 3rd and 5, 3rd and short. Giving yourself, opening up the playbook here if you're Norwell.
And this is all without Luke Graft on the field as well. Right. You're just running John Colbert here.
He's a very capable back. He gets overshadowed sometimes by Graff, but he's very capable. The Knights do not have to run another play. They could take this to quarter if they wanted to. Instead, they will snap it, and Colbert will try to turn it up, and he is close to a first down, and I think he will be given the first down yardage to the 25-yard line, and that will bring our first quarter to an end. And so Norwell has a 14-0 lead, and they're driving, already building a big lead on the road on WellsCountyVoice.com.
Good evening, football fans. My name is Nathan Shelton. As an advisor at Shelton Financial Group, my job is to help our clients plan for and adjust to the unexpected in life. That may be a change in employment status, a change in the tax code, or rising inflation. At Shelton Financial, our process, called the One Life Formula, is designed to help you work through the questions, concerns, and unexpected that may happen in your life. To schedule a time to discuss with us, please call our office at 260-436-7006 or visit our website at sheltonfinancial.com. Nathan Shelton, Investment Advisor Representative of USA Financial Securities, member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
You've heard of Seize the Day, right? Well, this month you can pay the day at the YMCA. Join the Y on October 5th and pay $5 for the entire month. Join on October 6th and pay $6 and so on. The sooner you join, the less you pay. Get your family connected to healthy activities in a clean, safe environment with a membership to the Y. Save big with Pay the Day at the YMCA. Now through October 31st. Visit fwymca.org for details. Offer valid at YMCA's in Allen, Whitley, and Wells County. Some restrictions apply.
All right, back for the second quarter here in Waterloo. First down for the Knights on the 25-yard line. They're driving again up 14-0. Big long drive on their second drive of the game, and then a pick six by John Colbert put the Knights up 2 scores at the first quarter break. First down run of 6 for Colbert, and he has been he's gotten the bulk of the carries so far here tonight. We've seen some limited action in Luke Graff, but it's mainly been Colbert.
Yeah, and Norwell has ran the ball 5 times in a row now after throwing it deep on first down. So they're just going back to their identity here, trying to take that big early lead.
Bodenheimer in motion at the snap. It's Colbert again, and Colbert has another first down.
And the ability for Norwell to have 2 workhorses in the backfield where you can just run, you can run Luke Graft and John Colbert basically into the ground if you wanted to, and they're going to give you everything they got every single play. It's just it's a huge weapon and hard for any team to stop. I mean, you think you can take a break when Luke Graff's off the field, and then John Colbert comes and lowers his shoulder and gets 6-7 yards to carry.
Right, and the other thing that we always talk about, again, what is this set up? It's TOP, and the Knights are controlling the time of possession right now. Toss to Colbert. Colbert's going to have a good run again unless a play is made. That's an excellent play made by the safety, Nate Williams, and it still results in a positive gain of 4 on first down, but Williams shedded a block there to get through and get to Colbert.
I'll tell you what, that was a really good play from the overhang defender right there. He just kept stringing that out towards the sideline, never gave Colbert the ability to turn it up. Then the safety came flying downhill, pulled his trigger. That's a pretty good play if you're DeKalb. The only bad thing is Norwell still got 3 yards on it.
Right, which kind of seems like a similar story to most teams the Knights have faced this year. Second, call it 7. To his right, Bailey again, rolling. Throws to the end zone. It's batted, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Bodenheimer, who was open, and that was it's a play that takes a long time to develop. He tries to stretch it to the opposite side of the field. It falls incomplete. A deflection in there in the second level. 3rd down and 7 for the Knights.
And they kind of ran a levels concept, Norwell did there, and the spacing wasn't quite right, it didn't seem like. They had 2 guys running out routes, and it looked like one ran like a 5-yard out, and the other ran a 7. So they're kind of stacked on top of each other, which just gives Leighton Bailey a lot smaller of a window to throw it to. So it'd be nice, that's something that they'll be able to correct on film, see that maybe they need to space it out a little bit better.
There's a penalty marker down on this 3rd down run, and so this play is likely coming back. Once again, the Knights are hurting themselves with penalties, and now you're backing yourself into a position where, unless you're able to get a big play on 3rd down, you're probably settling for a field goal opportunity.
Also wouldn't mind seeing De Leon get a nice long kick.
Right.
Test it out a little bit.
Well, I should know the answer to this, but I got to think back and really rack my brain. It was in the low 40s was his long last year at Belmont, and so the penalty was a hold. This is back to the 25, so this is about that range. This would put him at about 42. De Leon's field goal last week was 26, although it did have plenty of distance. We know he's got a very long leg to, and you would expect Norwell to get some positive yards here, although this is a throwing down. Out of the gun, Bailey looks to toss. He tries to dump it off for Bodenheimer, and he will fight forward for a yard. And that's about it. Bodenheimer wrapped up at the 24, and honestly, I don't think you have a lot of option. I think you got to try it.
And you know, Norwell was banking on DeKalb to bring a blitz there, which they didn't do, and they tried to dump a little screen off. Probably lucky that ball wasn't knocked down or picked off. They were able to fight for a yard there. I don't mind the call if you're Josh Gerber there.
Yeah.
Trying to call a screen, get yourself some yards, maybe put yourself in a little better position to go for it or kick the field goal.
Right.
But I am very surprised that they're trying to pick up a 4th and 20.
You do not have the play in the book for this thing. I don't know if they're going to snap it. I'm thinking they're going to call a time. Well, actually, Josh is not near the official. They will snap it, and they toss it. They're going to throw it. Colbert steps up and flips up a dying duck, and it is batted out of bounds. And I know you don't have a lot for 4th and 19. Apparently not capable or not confident in De Leon's ability to hit from 40-plus, and the Knights will turn it over on downs. But I don't know. You guys talk me through that one.
Test it out, see what you got.
That's what I'm thinking.
And it's a game situation. 14-0. It feels like you have it in hand, but boy, it just feels tough there if you're Norwell. You had an 11-play drive, took a lot of time off the clock, and come away with no points.
And you already have DeKalb defenders playing at the sticks there, so any type of trickery like that, your safeties are going to be over the top. So
Right, exactly. Not a lot of room on first down for Snyder.
Well, and then also on 4th and 20, I think, one thing we talked about coming up here is how it seems like the high school level, for every sport, it seems like the situational awareness has been going down a little bit. But on 4th and 20, if you toss that to the outside, I think everybody knows that it's not just going to be a toss. There's going to be some sort of reverse or a pass to go with it. That was just too easy to sniff out.
That pass is incomplete, a little bit too tall. Derek Overbay, the tight end, was the intended receiver. Brings up a 3rd down and 9, and actually in the backfield now is Landon Armstrong for DeKalb, who got that first down run. Back at their own 25-yard line, and again, you want to try to keep yourself out of 3rd and long situations as best you can against a Norwell defense that just does not give up these kind of conversions.
And I really liked the plays that DeKalb ran on their first drive. They were running these RPOs that got them about 5 yards of play, and then a penalty ended up killing that drive. But they were moving the sticks a little bit. They've kind of gone away from that.
Irk stands in the pocket, now flushed. Irk to his right, dumps one off for a first down. Out across the 45, finally pushed out of bounds near midfield. Logan Montoya makes his second grab. He was wide open in space. The Knights had covered it deep, and then Montoya was set up right at the 40-yard line. A big gain on 3rd and 9 for DeKalb to keep the drive alive.
Norwell brought a big blitz right there, which meant it was pretty much man coverage on the back end. And they got some pressure, made them roll out to the right, but they weren't able to get home. And, when you let them roll out to the right, wide receivers just kind of run free, and it's hard to keep covering them if you're a DB. That's a really good pitch and catch, though, if you're DeKalb.
Armstrong on first down. And got about 2 out to midfield at the 50-yard line. Luke Graff busting through the line on that play. And Cade Shelton in on the stop as well. 2nd and 8.
To me, if you're DeKalb, they throw the ball so much, and they actually throw it decent, It just feels like that interception's kind of killing their confidence a little bit. They've ran the ball just as much as they've passed it here today at 7-7 so far. So I'm a little confused by that. Passing is your bread and butter. Why don't they, throw the ball more? Especially on first down.
In motion, Montoya, 2nd and 8, and Irk will throw it to Montoya for completion to the 47. It's a short gain. Blake Hafley snuffed it out and stretched it to the edge. a gain of 3. 3rd down and 5 upcoming for DeKalb.
I'll tell you what, Blake Hafley showed off his speed right there.
Yeah.
Norwell brought another pretty big blitz right there, left it man-on-man, and he came flying from his position. He was able to hold that for about about 3-yard gain. So that was a very impressive play by Hafley.
Right, and we remember he had the big interception against New Haven a couple of weeks ago that really put that game on ice.
That was a false start.
Yep, that's an easy one. Nice flag toss by the line judge. This crew led by Robert Bryant. I mean, it's honestly been a little bit of a choppy first half here.
Yes, it has.
It just kind of feels like neither team's been able to establish rhythm. The Knights have obviously been better to this point, but really not all that impressive here in this first 18 minutes. 3rd and 10 for DeKalb. All 5 guys, all 4 receivers and the running back off the line of scrimmage for the moment. And now they will step up after they get the play. Irk has the snap. Snyder picks up a block. Irk has the protection he needs, throws off the back foot, and it's a toe tap, but it's incomplete. And the DeKalb fans can't believe it. Dan Mahoney was the intended receiver. And, boy, you're right, Colin, he did have him, and that was a pretty good ball. Mahoney did the right thing, knew where he was at on the field, just could not quite get that toe drag in for the first down.
And I like the play call from Norwell there, bringing the big blitz on 3rd and long. They got him scrambling a little bit. And just kind of some sort of miscommunication because he was running wide open on the sideline. And Norwell forced him to make a tough throw. And, the DeKalb fans really aren't happy with that call, were they?
Trace Mosier is back deep for the Knights. This is a line drive sidewinding kick picked up by Mosier with one hand on the 15-yard line. And Mosier's upended at the 20. Mitch Snyder comes down to make the tackle. Another punt from Logan Wilson. And so the Knights will set up shop on the 21-yard line. And Daniels Jewelers features bridal, fine, and fun jewelry, fossil and citizen watches, along with SteelX and much more. Located in the Interurban Park in Bluffton, Daniels offers resetting and redesigning of your jewelry. Visit Daniels Jewelers in Bluffton or online at danielsjewelers.net. Well, that was not a very long drive. We've got 6:18 left in the first half, and that's obviously the downside with the incompletions is you have time, or you have trouble eating up chunks of time on the clock. Not that DeKalb needs to do that anyway. Trailing by 14 here midway through the second quarter. Graft is wrapped up near the line of scrimmage, and his forward progress will grant him a yard, maybe 2. But that time DeKalb had good pressure up front, and it was a little bit of a slow developing play. And it was Caden Knack, the D tackle, to make first contact.
We talk so much on this Norwell team about time of possession and, how much they can, just milk time off that clock. But honestly, I've always thought time of possession is pretty overrated in football.
Think so?
Especially with the way offenses are becoming, throwing it West Coast, running all these motions, taking chances. And, who cares if you had the ball for 15 minutes but scored 40-something points, Now with Norwell's offense, however, the time of possession isn't overrated for them. If you have an offense like that, you have to have good time of possession, and unless you're getting a lot of big plays. But their offense is made for short 4, 5, 6, 7 yard plays on every single play.
Yeah, Neuenschwander on the screen pass was incomplete. 3rd down, Alex.
Yeah, Colin, back to your point, it's all about personnel, and for this Knights team, their personnel, they don't have the receivers to be able to just go this West Coast offense. They can't trust the receivers to make those reads and have option routes and that kind of thing. You basically got to run it with Graft and Colbert.
Graft's not going to have a first down here, so the Knights will go 3 and out. And they didn't eat up much time either. So both teams are having issues sustaining drives here in this first half. Honestly, for the game that we thought we might have, Norwell's run game, DeKalb's defense struggling against the run, and DeKalb's high-powered passing offense, hasn't been a lot of offense here tonight.
Yeah, and a lot of that just comes from little miscues, penalties that kill drives.
Right.
Drop passes, that incomplete pass right there on the sideline. Just little things that have been hindering each offense on their drives.
Just kind of uglied this game up a little bit. Here's a low rolling punt from Brody Bolin. Does take a Norwell bounce. DeKalb has to get away, and this is going to end up being a good one. as that punt came from the 27-yard line, will be marked dead back at the 29-yard line. So 44 yards, no return on the punt.
You know, and DeKalb has to feel pretty lucky too, because Norwell's had, they've had 4 drives, right? They've had 4 drives. One was a 5-yard, or a 5-play, but they got it all the way down into the red zone, and then a holding ended up killing that drive. Then they had an 11-play drive where they ended up stalling because of another penalty. So, both of those drives, they came away with no points and were in the red zone. So DeKalb has to feel very lucky, and they need to get on the board here.
Yeah, they really do. They're still very much in the game. Another, the ball comes out there on the pass, but it is going to be a first down as it was punched out near the sideline. Klein Neuenschweiner got his hand on it. The catch made by Logan Montoya, and Montoya's already had a good night. He had 7 catches for 79 yards and a score last week, 11 yards to move the chains.
Those are the plays that they were running on their first drive that I didn't understand why they went away from them. A little RPO, they got what they wanted, and they got the corner playing off, and they were able to pick up a pretty good chunk gain.
4 wide on first down. Hand off to Snyder. This time has a gaping hole met by McCabe, but he's carried forward for a first down. Again, they gain 10 here, maybe 11 yards based on the spot. They will mark him at the 49, and they're in plus territory.
That RPO, the way I've always viewed the RPO is, whether you run it or you pass it, it's a run play. Because normally an RPO you're not throwing it deep. So, that's DeKalb's way of running the ball, is that RPO, and that they run it very well. We've seen that there today. I'm surprised that they haven't run that more.
Here's another big run for Snyder. He's into the second level and finally tackled near the 30-yard line. That's 19 yards, and Snyder and this DeKalb offense is starting to gash the Knight defense, and they're well into Norwell territory now.
And they're starting to go hurry up now. This is the stuff I love about football. Whenever you start getting success, you just keep going quick. Don't give the defense time to adjust to it. They'll just force them to try and dig their heels in, because right now Norwell's getting gashed up the middle, which we're not used to seeing.
Not at all. They typically have excellent success in the middle. They have struggled at times against the pass. There's a crossing route incomplete. And again, they had him, and Donnie Wiley just had that one go in and out of his hands. Would have been another first down.
Yeah, remember that play right there, because that was a 15-20. That could have been a touchdown if he's able to get to the middle of the field. So remember that drop right there, because that could end up being the drive killer.
Yeah, and Cade Shelton a little too far over the top there. He wasn't closing space. Eventually, you see that slant route. You gotta get on top of him, and you gotta be on his back number.
Shelton has so much expectation now after the great week he had last week against Solman and shutting him down. This time Snyder is stopped just across the line of scrimmage. Aiden Billiard getting across for the Knights. 3rd down and about 8 coming up, but this is very much 4-down territory here for the Barons.
This almost feels like a must score here,
it
too.
Does.
If you're DeKalb, they've kind of struggled on offense. They've found some success on a few other drives, but this drive, they're really putting something together now. They need to finish off this drive, get it to 14-7, and then they get the ball back after half as well.
That's right. Irk will throw it. It's complete to Montoya, short of the first down and shoved out of bounds. Cohen Bailey pushes him out alongside Stuart McCabe. Big 4th down and 2 coming up for DeKalb.
But I'm with Colin there. I love that play call. I was just thinking before this snap, you don't need it all to get the first down. You just need enough to make it manageable, and you force Norwell to call a timeout here.
Knights call a timeout. We'll step away and be right back on The Voice.
Thunder and lightning, rock and roll, even peanut butter and jelly. There are some things in this world that just naturally seem to go together. At Farmers and Merchant State Bank, it's you and us. That's why at F&M, we're always ready to partner with you on all your financial needs, from checking and savings to auto loans and more. Now that's pretty black and white. Farmers and Merchants, you and us. Learn more at fm.bank, member FDIC.
3:37 left in quarter number 2. It's 14-0 Norwell, but they only scored on one offensive drive. The defensive touchdown is the other one on the pick 6 by Colbert. And now DeKalb is threatening to make this a 1-score game. We expected a game that might get out of hand, and you said it, Colin, kind of early. If the Knights were able to build an early lead, could put this thing away, but they've been unable to score late in drives so far, and it's cost him. Irk will keep it, and he's got the first down. That was a 4th and 2. And this will keep the drive alive. Irk needed 2. He got 4. First down on the 18-yard lines and out of bounds for Irk.
That's a great play call from DeKalb right there. That's a play we have not seen yet today. They've been trying to, on that RPO, the RPO, if they run it, it's been going up the middle, and the pass has been going to the edge. So you have to think, if you're Norwell, you're expecting something up the middle, and that's just a quick quarterback sweep to the left. Just get downhill real quick and pick up the 2 yards you need. That's a great play call.
They've spent 4 wide basically on every play this drive. Overbay makes the catch for DeKalb, the tight end, and has another first down at the 7-yard line. First and goal for the Barons.
And Irk is doing everything right now. His reads, his play fakes, everything like that. He's doing everything right on this drive. And it's most likely going to end up in DeKalb points because Norwell just hasn't been able to stop him.
And I love the play calling from DeKalb. And the first few drives, they were getting stuff that would work, and then they'd go away from it.
To his right, Irk is stretched out and doesn't have room, and he's tackled inbounds. Look like the Knights had a couple of guys over there from the defensive line. Second down and goal back at the 7-yard line.
But going back to what I was saying, they're staying with what's working. And, once you get in here to the red zone, you kind of run out of space. You can't do that. But what the beauty of the RPO is you're throwing it short anyway on the RPO.
Right.
So you don't really run out of that room.
This is a big series for the Barons. They could very much get right back in the game with the score here.
And they're milking, we were talking about time of possession. They're milking the clock a little bit here.
Yeah, they're doing this has been a great drive. Pass over the middle, incomplete. Looked like he was going to go to Snyder on second down, pulled it back and threw it across the middle for Donnie Wiley, who had it go off his hands once again. Third down and goal.
It's a great play there from Mr. Shelton. Getting his hand in there, break up that pass. And if you're DeKalb here, I think I stick with that little RPO kind of over the middle. But once again, this is 3rd and long. You don't have to score the touchdown here on this play. Get it close and give yourself 2 shots here.
Right. Again, anything inside the 5 is very manageable on 4th down. DeKalb's offense has moved it very well in this second quarter, especially on this last drive. Irk takes the snap. He will throw it left. It's batted and almost intercepted at the goal line, and I think they're going to send on the field goal unit to try to get points.
Alex, you just said that Irk has been doing everything right, been making the right reads. Well, he made his first wrong read right there because the linebacker did not bite on that RPO, and DeKalb's very lucky that ball's not going back in the other direction right now.
This will be a field goal of about 24 yards.
This is a tough angle too.
Yeah, it is
kick.
from the right hash. It will be officially 24. Snap's good, holds good. The timing was a little off, but Wilson has enough leg, and he missed it. Missed it off to the right.
Boy, that's a backbreaker for DeKalb. An 11-play drive.
Wow.
You look good the whole time. You get it inside the 10. Looks like they're going to score easily, and then you come away with no points. Man, that is a backbreaker, especially if Norwell can put some sort of points on the board before half here.
It really follows the trend of both teams in this first half. There's been a couple of good drives that have ended in no points. That'll, of course, bring it back out to the 20-yard line per high school rules. Wilson is now 1 for 3 on the year. His only make was from 31 yards. He's got a good leg and obviously had plenty of distance there, but just missed it off to the right.
We've had 2 drives here tonight, too. Norwell had one drive that was 11 plays, and now DeKalb just had one that was 11 plays, both of which came away with no points.
That's real frustrating.
How often do you see that?
Every Sunday when I watch the Colts.
That's true.
That comment was unnecessary. Graft on first down, cuts it back, and has a first down. Graft to the second level, sheds another tackle, out across midfield. Luke Graft running to the sideline. One man to beat, and Graft's going to do it. Luke Graft's going to go for 80 yards, and that is a back-breaking touchdown, and the Knights are up 20-0.
We're talking about that's a back-breaking drive not to score points. You have an 11-play drive, you don't score any points, and then Luke Graft does what Luke Graft does, making a big play, making plays happen. You went from thinking you're going to cut this down to 14-7, get the ball back after half to it being 21-0, and you can just feel the air from this stadium just kind of leave the DeKalb side.
Yeah, the energy really taken out, Alex, big time.
Yeah, and you said Derek only had one man to beat. Closest man to him was Cohen Bailey there within 10 yards.
De Leon on for the PAT. No problem. 21-0, Norwell leading DeKalb now. Boy, it's just amazing how a game can turn on its head like that. I mean, the pick six we knew was important, and then another big play like that. DeKalb has been very much in the game, save for two huge Norwell plays.
And, we were talking a little bit earlier about how time of possession is overrated if you're going to put points on the board. Right there, that proves it. Norwell's had a long 11-play drive. They had a 5-play drive where they got it inside the 20, come away with no points, but they ate up a lot of time. And then Luke Graff breaks a long 80 or 75-yard run. 80-yard run. I thought it came to the 25, but 80-yard run, and I just can't get over how quickly this game turned.
Tim Steffen and his staff at Steffen Financial Group are a full-service financial firm committed to helping people pursue their financial goals by identifying your goals and helping you make sound decisions to reach them. And Dr. Josh Bell strives to help you heal and stay healthy for years to come with individualized treatment plans for patients of all ages. Don't suffer from chronic pain. Corrective Chiropractic can help. Located at 360 North Main Street in Bluffton. 21-0 Knights on top here of DeKalb in Waterloo. Just under 2 minutes left in the first half. And if you're just joining us, DeKalb was driving and was very much in a position to make it a 14-7 ball game. And then they tried to go for the field goal. They would have had 4th and goal in the 7. Brought on the field goal unit. Dylan Wilson missed it off to the right, a 24-yard attempt. And then Graft ran one for 80 yards on the next play thanks to a couple of missed DeKalb tackles. And this return doesn't have a lot of room to go, as wrangled to the ground is Donnie Wiley. And so the Barons will start back inside their own 20 once again. Really, neither team's had great field position after kickoffs here tonight. And DeKalb has a long way to go on their last drive of the first half.
Yeah, with this West Coast offense that DeKalb's running, minute 49 is enough time if they can get it down the field, if they can drive down the field. Irk has the arm. He has the ability to push it down the field. So if you want to do a little pump and go, maybe get the corners to suck in. A lot of options here. Press coverage on the bottom of your screen here and on top.
Snap back to Irk. Irk will throw it deep. He has Montoya and overthrew him. He absolutely would have had him. Montoya was open. Trace Mosier was way late getting over. And second down as it'll come back to the 20.
I can't figure out what that coverage was from Norwell.
I think they were trying to go a little cover 2 there, maybe. It looked like the corner kind of jammed and then.
If it was cover 2, it would have had to be a Tampa 2 because that wasn't man at all. Or if it was man, that wasn't very good because he was running wide open.
And now the Knights will press on second down.
Which I think it's silly on defense to press.
Irk has time. Bodenheimer missed him. Irk stretching the play out and throws it incomplete. Looking for a Dan Mahoney again on the sideline. Third down.
Well, that's exactly what it is. They're running the old Tony Dungy Tampa 2 where they drop that middle linebacker deep, get into the flats, and have the 2 safeties over the top. It's almost a more simpler prevent defense. But, those 2 safeties can't let anybody get deep. And if DeKalb's not careful, Norwell still has 2 timeouts here.
Yeah.
So, they got to be careful with how they approach this.
You better believe if they don't get a first down here and the clock's still running, the Knights are definitely going to use one of those timeouts because the last Logan Wilson punt wasn't very good. 3rd and 10. Irk being chased by Bolin. Bolin closing in. Irk throws it. Incomplete. And that was intended again for Derek Overbay, the tight end. And again, he was open, but the throw was just a little bit off the mark. Overbay had to come back to the football. They go 3 and out shortly. With 88 seconds left, the Knights will get the football back.
Yeah, like you said, Derek, he had to come back for the football, and I think he had maybe 2 or 3 more steps in him to go back towards the football. He was well past the chains and was able to come back and still get the first down. And he did Norwell a favor because they don't have to use a timeout.
Line drive punt, returnable. Bailey across the 45 and tackled at the 40. And that's about as good as you could hope for if you're Norwell. Now you only got, realistically, 20 yards to get into field goal range if you want to do that. But obviously 40 yards from a touchdown here and 78 seconds, 2 timeouts to work with.
And with the Norwell, the high school / college rule, the clock stopping after getting a first down. Norwell relatively doesn't even have to go away from the run completely here.
Oh, absolutely not.
man, that was about worst case scenario there on that drive from DeKalb, going 3 and out with 3 incomplete passes.
Again, DeKalb has felt like they've been in the game most of the first half. But, if the Knights score again here, they're in real trouble going into the third quarter, even though if there ever was a team built for a comeback, this is the team to do it just based on their on the way that they run things offensively. But again, you're talking about going against one of the best defenses in the state in Norwell, at least in Class 3A. Bailey has all day back here on first down. He will float it down the right sideline, and he misses Neuenschwander, who reached up with the right paw, and it fell incomplete. Tried to haul it in with one hand, but that throw was behind him as Neuenschwander was heading to the sideline. 2nd and 10.
Now, if you're DeKalb here, if I'm Norwell, I'm probably running the ball in some shape or form here. I would pick out whichever plays work best for you tonight on the ground. Run the ball, pick up some yards. I don't think that they would want this to be 3rd and 10. So just pick up what you can on the ground, get yourself a few, make it 3rd and reasonable.
And that play is somewhere to the outside
right
tonight for sure.
Bailey's going to throw it. Snyder missed him. Bailey will tuck it, and he will get out of bounds and pushed out. We'll see where they mark him. He's going to be short of the first down. Apparently stepped out early at the 32. But it sets up 3rd down and a manageable 2 with still 1:01 left.
Yeah, well, we got our run.
Yep, I guess so.
It may have been a pass play, but we got our run. Yeah, I am a little surprised they didn't run the ball some way there. Cause,
what are you talking about, Colin?
Yeah,
they did.
Well, yeah. I'm a little surprised they didn't try and get Graft out on the edge, like that long touchdown run, something like that.
Man, they have really not used Graft a lot in this first half. It's been mostly Colbert, and he's the lone setback in here this time with 4 wide. Toss to Colbert on 3rd and 2, and Colbert has a first down, gets a block to the outside, turns it up. Colbert with space down near the 10-yard line, and finally pushed out of bounds with less than a minute left in the first half, and the Knights are knocking on the door again.
That's what I was expecting on 2nd down. That honestly was that run to the outside, like Alex said. But, I mean, man, they have plenty of time now, don't they? Still got 2 timeouts, clock stopping. The whole playbook is open right now if you're Norwell.
Ball be marked on the 11, so they can get a first down without getting a touchdown. They will send Neuenschwander to the near side. Bodenheimer at tight end. Handoff goes to Graft. Graft powering forward, spinning towards the 1, and is stopped at the 1. And I think they will credit him with the first down. So the clock will start on the ready for play. And it's 1st and goal at the 1-yard line for Norwell.
If you're Norwell here, do you try and milk this clock down, not give DeKalb any time?
Although I don't think at this point.
Well, DeKalb called a timeout.
Oh, wow. And that to me, and I'm not getting into what is aggressive and what's not, criticizing timeout usage, but I will say it anyway. To me, that seems a little aggressive. You got 40 seconds to work with, and you're already down 21-0.
Well, I wonder how much of that is just trying to get your defense set.
That's fair.
That's
a fair
line
point.
Set here.
Right.
I mean, if you're able to at least have Norwell run 2-3 plays before getting in the end zone, you feel better about your defense. But just getting them rushed out there and say, here, go stop John Colbert on 1st and goal from the 1. It's hard.
Kathy Peterson is part of the Steffen Group, a select group of real estate and auction professionals that are changing the game of real estate. With a strong customer service background, Kathy's committed to her clients throughout the whole transaction. And located at 2635 East, 150 North in Bluffton, head on out to Green Valley Golf Club to hit a few on their driving range, putting green, or play around. Green Valley Golf Club, where your friends play. 40 seconds left in the first half, 21-0. Norwell on top of DeKalb. Both teams with 2 TOs left if they need to use them, but the Knights are dangerously close to scoring again and putting DeKalb in a very difficult position going into the half. They will hand it to Colbert, who is easily in for the touchdown. Norwell's so good in short yardage situations. Colbert has his 2nd touchdown of the night, the first on offense, and it's 27-0.
We were talking, they were inside of 1 minute when they got the ball or close to it. 40-yard line, 2 timeouts. They didn't use a single timeout.
No.
They only threw the ball 1 time. They ran it 4 times. I mean, they only took about 20 seconds off the clock. I mean, that's just so good if you're Norwell. I mean, if you're DeKalb, this game just feels over now, doesn't it?
De Leon's kick is good once again. It is 28-0. Boy, if you'd said, we were talking about there was 3 minutes left in this half. 3 or 4 minutes left. It was 14-0. DeKalb looked like they were going to score a touchdown to make it 14-7. You're thinking, okay, if DeKalb can get a stop before the half and they get the ball to start the second half, they could very easily go on a drive to tie the game. Now all of a sudden it is 28-0. DeKalb went for the field goal instead of trying to get it into the end zone. They missed it. Norwell scored on the next play. Then DeKalb goes 3 and out, and the Knights score 5 plays later to make it 28-0.
It just shows you how quickly a game can change.
No kidding.
I mean, momentum can shift, and that's what happened.
American Mortgage Service Company is helping individuals realize the dream of home ownership by providing a top-notch best mortgage experience. Contact Angie Top or Jessica Best at 353-3300. AMSC is an equal housing lender.
And you know, if you're DeKalb, too, you almost had to feel tickled to death at where you were in the situation. It being 14-0, a chance to make it 14-7. You had got some big stops. I mean, you had to be tickled to death that you had a shot in this game, and now it's 28-0 all of a sudden.
He said it twice.
He doubles up.
Word of the night, it covers him for 2 weeks. And out across the 20 to the 25. Oh, the ball comes loose at the end of the play, but the whistle already blown. And that could have made everything a little worse. 30 seconds left, and knowing what just happened right there, I cannot imagine DeKalb does anything too crazy.
Run the ball once, take a knee, just get into half here.
Do whatever you need to do to get into the half and regroup.
Hey, well, they got 2 timeouts still.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mustangs are lining up here on the south end.
This is a really cool homecoming that they pull off in Auburn. As we mentioned, the county fair is going on, or the Auburn fair going on right now. Irk was going to throw it. Oh, man, that was almost intercepted as Aiden Rusu was right there to make the tackle immediately. Looked like Derek Overbay on the catch. And they're going to try to run another play. Now they're slow getting to the line. Irk checks the clock with 7 seconds left. Make sure everybody's set, everybody to the left side of the line of scrimmage. Snap back to Irk on the final play of the first half. He will roll to his right, and he's sacked. Brody Bolin drops him on the last play of the first half. Bolin picks up his 3rd sack of the season, and the Knights go into the half leading 28-0 over DeKalb. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk about what happened here in this first frame and get you some halftime scores from across the conference in the area. Norwell leading DeKalb 28-0 in Waterloo on WellsCountyVoice.com, part of the Voice Sports Network and the IHSAA Champions Network.
When looking to sell or buy a home in Wells County, it's so important to work with an experienced full-time agent from the local area. I'm Bev Grish, and I'm beginning my 24th year helping families in the real estate business and would love to guide your family through the process. When you choose to work with a local agent who knows the Wells County market, you are a step ahead. I have built good working relationships with local lenders, realtors, inspectors, contractors, and appraisers, and it helps the process go smoothly. Whether you are buying your first home, a larger home, investment property, dream home, selling a long-time family business, or downsizing into retirement, I'm here to help. Heartfelt thanks for supporting me 24 years in the real estate business I truly love. Bev sells Wells at 466-1822.
Bluffton Roofing Incorporated prides themselves on developing a long-term relationship with their customers, listening to their needs and suggesting the proper course of action, be it preventative maintenance, repair, or replacement. Bluffton Roofing and owner James Worth are GAF certified and are certified weather stopper roofing contractors. Bluffton Roofing is fully insured, protecting you and your home. Call 824-3564 or 307-6313. Bluffton Roofing Incorporated. Quality first home improvements.
We're here at Craigville Appliance celebrating the boys of fall. We love football season at Craigville Appliance. But with that being said, we know that sometimes it's a rainy, muddy day and you got to do the laundry when you get home. We know laundry stinks, but at Craigville Appliance, we've got the tools to take care of you. Come to Craigville Appliance or tell your friends to come over. We got brands like LG, Speed Queen, Maytag, Electrolux. The list goes on and on. Come to Craigville Appliance or check us out online at cappliance.com. That's C as in cat, appliance.com.
Cleaning One Incorporated, your cleaning specialists. They offer a great variety of cleaning services, commercial cleaning, cleaning windows, strip and wax floors, clean carpets, complete sanitizing of facilities, floor repair or replacement. They will also schedule a PM maintenance program.
At Cleaning One, your security is their top priority. They do a complete background check on each of their employees so you can feel good about letting them into your homes. For more information, give Rob a call at 260-409-2564 or give Bob a call, 260-403-7676. Or you can simply send them an email at officeonecleaning@yahoo.com.
Cleaning One Incorporated, your cleaning specialists.
Imagine a place where you could live independently with support close by if needed. A place where you feel secure, stress-free, and with friends next door. A place where you're just a few steps away from assistance, nursing, or even rehabilitation services. A place where a team of professionals work every day to provide everything you need and care for you just like family. This is ASEAN Assisted Living, where you're close to home but far from ordinary.
Michael Vanover for Wells County Commissioner. Michael is CEO of an industry-leading business here in Wells County, Clean Fuels. As an entrepreneur and small business owner, Michael is on your team for Wells County. Through his proven leadership, we can improve Wells County infrastructure by working closely with state and federal legislatures for matching funds, expand residential development by leveraging relationships with developers and inside knowledge of how growth happens, helping Wells County stay safe by supporting law enforcement and understanding their needs. Re-elect Michael Vanover for Wells County Commissioner in 2022.
American Mortgage Service Company, located at 1169 North Main Street in Bluffton. We specialize in helping individuals realize their dream of homeownership by providing a top-notch, best mortgage experience. We offer a wide variety of loan programs and the most current rates available.
Contact Angie Top or Jessica Best at 260-353-3000 or apply online at bluffton.americanmortgage.com. This is not an offer for the extension of credit or a commitment to lend. American Mortgage, NMLS ID 8246. Angie Top, NMLS ID 478736. Jessica Best, NMLS ID 613932. American Mortgage is an equal housing lender.
Did you sprain your ankle playing with your kids last night? Have you had a nagging pain while training for an upcoming race? Or do you have an upcoming surgery? Indiana Physical Therapy understands how important and valuable your time is to you. At Indiana Physical Therapy, we can schedule you within 24 hours at any of our 19 convenient clinics. With trusted results, you can count on Indiana Physical Therapy to get you better, faster. You don't need a referral from your doctor, and all insurances are accepted, including Anthem. IPT is your choice for physical therapy. So what are you waiting for? Call Indiana Physical Therapy right now at 260-209-2464 to schedule an appointment, or go online to indianapt.com. Indiana Physical Therapy, where people go to get better.
In business since 1981, Barclay Builders has been building residential homes and commercial projects in Northeast Indiana for their budget. With interaction between clients, vendors, and trade contractors, Barclay Builders meets the needs of homeowners to build their forever home. At Barclay Builders, it's all about you. It's your heart and your soul at the center of every design decision made. Josh and his team are poised to build the home you've always wanted. It isn't just a home, it's your forever home. Contact Barclay Builders at 260-622-7674. That's 622-7674. Or find them on Facebook at Barclay Builders, Inc. Let Barclay Builders get started on your Barclay Built Forever home.
You've heard of Seize the Day, right? Well, this month you can pay the day at the YMCA. Join the Y on October 5th and pay $5 for the entire month. Join on October 6th and pay $6, and so on. The sooner you join, the less you pay. Get your family connected to healthy activities in a clean, safe environment with a membership to the Y. Save big with Pay the Day at the YMCA, now through October 31st. Visit fwymca.org for details. Offer valid at YMCA's in Allen, Whitley, and Wells County. Some restrictions apply.
Kathy Peterson of the Steffen Group is part of a select group of real estate and auction professionals that are changing the game of how real estate and auction transactions are handled. With a strong background in customer service, Kathy believes helping people is the most precious gift she can give and is committed to being a partner with her clients through the entire transaction. Contact Kathy Peterson at the Steffen Group at 824-6353 or drop her a message at Kathy, Cathie.Peterson at SteffenGRP.com.
Hello, Tim Steffen Financial Group. It's been said nothing is certain except change. We must adapt to change to stay safe and move forward. What changes have there been in your life? At Steffen Financial Group, we would like to work with you and help with your future planning. Call me, Tim Steffen, or Michelle Stoller, 260-824-8175. Steffen Financial Group, 110 West Cherry Street, Bluffton, Indiana. Retirement, investments, savings plans. Steffen Financial Group can also assist with your personalized Medicare supplement, health, life, and long-term care plans. 260-824-8175. Steffen Financial Group. Solid planning, local service, professional advice. Securities and insurance offered through Thurston Springer Financial, a registered broker-dealer, member FINRA and SIPC, and Indiana Insurance Agency. Tim Steffen is a registered associate of Thurston Springer Financial and is doing business as Steffen Financial Group. Tim Steffen and Steffen Financial Group are independent of Thurston Springer Financial.
At Corrective Chiropractic, we offer individualized treatment plans for patients of all ages, from infants to elderly, and even during pregnancy. Have you ever experienced a workplace, sports, or auto accident, or just suffer from chronic pain? Corrective Chiropractic can help. Knee, neck, shoulder, or back pain, headaches, migraines, allergies, muscular tension. Corrective Chiropractic can help. I'm Dr. Josh Bell from Corrective Chiropractic. We welcome patients from Bluffton, Yoder, Decatur, Bern, Montpelier, and the surrounding areas. Schedule your appointment today at 260-353-1400 and let Corrective Chiropractic help you along your journey to health and wellness. Corrective Chiropractic, 360 North Main Street, Suite A, Dutch Mill Plaza. Feel and function better.
Bluffton Roofing Incorporated prides themselves on developing a long-term relationship with their customers, listening to their needs and suggesting the proper course of action, be it preventative maintenance, repair, or replacement. Bluffton Roofing and owner James Worth are GAF certified and are certified weather stopper roofing contractors. Bluffton Roofing is fully insured, protecting you and your home. Call 824-3564 or 307-6313. Bluffton Roofing Incorporated. Quality first home improvements.
Welcome back here to DeKalb as the homecoming court is introduced here on Homecoming 2021. We're at halftime. Norwell's leading DeKalb 28-0. And let's check out a couple of scores before we break things down on what happened in the first half. Obviously, the big surprise in the conference, Columbia City is on top of East Noble at the break, 10-6, which things are starting to implode for Coach Amstutz and East Noble. If they're unable to win that game, that would be a very disappointing loss, and you'd have to go back a long way to find the last time they lost 3 straight games. That's been a quality program for a long, long time. Also, close to halftime, Bluffton was leading Heritage 20-0, and that's a good lead for Bluffton. That was expected to be a tight game. Also, Adams Central leading Southern Wells at the half 61-0. The school record is potentially in sight. I think I read today that the school record is 72 or 73 for AC, and obviously a running clock will be in effect in the second half. But Southern Wells has really struggled big time this year. And then one of the games of the night, it's Lures over Dwinger, 27-21, close to halftime. That's a dandy of a contest with a huge crowd there tonight, and also in a game that you're talking about expecting to be close. Homestead and Carroll are tight close to the end of the first half as well. So when you kind of look at everything across the area, it's kind of what we got at this point. Don't have a ton of scores. There are a few that are still in the first half. But at this point, let's kind of break down what happened here in the first half in Waterloo. Derek Decker with Alex Howard and Colin Schwartz. Alex, we'll start with you. Norwell, I wouldn't say it was their prettiest half of the season. Successful enough, made a couple of big plays to kind of stretch that lead in a game that Dekalb was in for most of the half.
Yeah, we talked about it in the middle of the first quarter there, towards the end of the first quarter. The game just felt slow. Both teams felt like they didn't have their feet under them. Norwell was able to make a few big plays, kind of bust this thing wide open after a big stop over here in Dekalb's plus territory. Dekalb threatening to score, make it a one-score game. So Norwell able to avoid big plays from Dekalb, able to stand their ground, not allow Dekalb to break the scoring column here in the first half, and Norwell able to then return the favor and go the length of the field on a Luke Graff run that went forever, and then able to force a 3-and-out there before the half to get the ball back and score and make this thing 28-0 was huge for the Knights.
By the way, guys, this is 8 quarters straight for Norwell's defense without allowing a score, going all the way back to the second half against New Haven. Colin, Dekalb had some moments in that first half where the passing game got into a rhythm. Really the last drive, or the second to last drive for them of the first half, comes to mind, where they drove all the way down inside the Norwell 10, had goal to go 3 times, elected to go for the field goal. Kind of the offense really struggled once they got inside the 10. And we talked about it. Would it be an issue? They couldn't spread things out anymore, and it got a little bit tougher for them when things got more compact. But the passing game has shown some promise in this first half. It's just a matter of putting things together, sustaining drives, and more importantly, finishing out those drives for points.
And, this is kind of felt like a weird game, hasn't it? I mean, there have been a lot of drives for both teams where they have long drives come away with no points. It really feels like, the play count there, Norwell ran 34 plays in the first half to DeKalb's 32, so it's pretty even there. Yeah. We're getting what we expected from both teams, 25 runs for Norwell, 9 passes, and then for DeKalb it was 19 to 13 pass to run. So we're getting what we're expecting, and like I said, it felt pretty even.
It did.
But the score's 28-0. It just feels a little bit weird.
Yeah, and actually the 9 passes is significant for Norwell in the first half. Of course, they only threw it 4 times last week and completed it 3 times for 22 yards. And that's it. That's really all that happened in the East Noble game, and it didn't really matter because the run game was so strong once again. As a team, you looked at Graft going for 163, Colbert for 94. It would be, not that it really matters or takes away anything from Norwell, but it would be slightly disappointing if East Noble lost here tonight, as they're kind of crumbling. You could maybe credit Norwell. Look, an emotional loss to Leo kick-started things in a game where East Noble came back to tie the game late and then ended up giving up a game-winning touchdown drive right at the end. And then you come on the road to Aussie and just get smacked right out of the gate. You got punched in the mouth on a big, long drive by the Knights of Norwell, and then they were able to put things away and win 17-0. This is about as concerning stretch as you could imagine for East Noble, and it certainly has to make Leo feel good heading into that sectional, because Leo is more than likely going to be undefeated going into sectional and will be the heavy favorite there as well. We've got a few minutes until the second half begins. We'll take another short break. Norwell leading DeKalb at the break, 28-0.
Is filled with fabulous golf courses that offer a variety of experiences and are as diverse and distinct as the regions they're in. And there is one right here in your backyard that you shouldn't miss. Green Valley Golf Club, located at 2635 East, 150 North in Bluffton. You deserve a little time on the greens, so book your tee time, brush off your spikes, and get ready to play. Green Valley Golf Club, located at 2635 East, 150 North in Bluffton, just east of the Stone Quarry.
Head on out to Green Valley to hit some balls on their driving range or putting green. Call 824-4510 to reserve your tee time. Green Valley, where your friends play.
Always going to have sibling rivalry, and it's no different with the Heidi brothers. They went and built 2 dealerships right next to each other and filled them up with new Chevys, Jeeps, Buicks, Chryslers, Dodge Rams, and more. And some of the best late model pre-owned vehicles around, just so they could compete for your business with service, selection, and price. The choice is yours. Heidi Automotive Group in Bluffton, just 20 minutes south of Fort Wayne.
Nick Huffman, a Bluffton High School graduate, is ready to help you buy, sell, or build your dream home. If you're ready to start a new chapter in your life, now's the time. With historic low interest rates, houses are moving at lightning speed. Whether you need single-family, multifamily, agricultural, commercial, property management, mixed use, or land development, give Nick a call or text at 827-8255 or send him a message on Facebook at Real Estate by Nick Huffman. Nick is located at the Steffen Group at 107 West Market Street in Bluffton. His number again is 827-8255.
Good evening, football fans. My name is Nathan Shelton. As an advisor at Shelton Financial Group, my job is to help our clients plan for and adjust to the unexpected in life. That may be a change in employment status, a change in the tax code, or rising inflation. At Shelton Financial, our process, called the One Life Formula, is designed to help you work through the questions, concerns, and unexpected that may happen in your life. To schedule a time to discuss with us, please call our office at 260-436-7006 or visit our website at sheltonfinancial.com. Nathan Shelton, Investment Advisor Representative of USA Financial Securities, member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
When looking to sell or buy a home in Wells County, it's so important to work with an experienced full-time agent from the local area. I'm Bev Grish, and I'm beginning my 24th year helping families in the real estate business and would love to guide your family through the process. When you choose to work with a local agent who knows the Wells County market, you are a step ahead. I have built good working relationships with local lenders, realtors, inspectors, contractors, and appraisers, and it helps the process go smoothly. Whether you are buying your first home, a larger home, investment property, dream home, selling a long-time family business, or downsizing into retirement, I'm here to help. Heartfelt thanks for supporting me 24 years in the real estate business I truly love. Bev Sells Wells at 466-1822.
Back here in Waterloo, Norwell on top of DeKalb, 28-0. Just about set to get things rolling in the second half here on homecoming for the Barons. DeKalb in their home black here tonight with silver numbers, shiny silver numbers. Always makes it help for the broadcast. Norwell rather in their home or visiting white, should say, and the navy blue pants. Holy Moses, with the blue helmets to start the second half. Norwell, again, we were kind of talking about it at the break, it just felt like both teams were lackadaisical in that first half. Norwell did have a spark there towards the end and kind of made some changes, but it's honestly been kind of a flat game when you look at it top to bottom, and that's not to take away anything from everybody that's competing on the field, but just from an atmosphere perspective too, it's just kind of not there tonight. And this is typically a really good environment here at DeKalb, especially when they're winning games. They're coming off of a big emotional win, but it's got to be frustrating. Easily scoring. They put up 50 last week, and they've only been close to scoring one time here tonight. Drew Graft will kick it off for the Knights to start this second half. It's a deep kick back inside the 5. Donnie Wiley on the return. And Wiley is dropped at the 23-yard line. And DeKalb will start with mediocre field position once again.
And Derek, you said it in the first half. If there's any team that it seems like Norwell's played this year that is built for some sort of comeback, it's this DeKalb team with the type of offense they run. But that's not going to happen if they don't get something going really quick here.
Yeah.
This first drive, they've got to come away with points, go with what worked, maybe move a little quicker, get yourselves on the board, get yourself some confidence. I mean, their defense stopped Norwell a few times in that first half.
It really did.
So, I mean, it's still within reach, but it's getting – I mean, they got to go quick.
Both teams had one turnover in that first half. And Irk will take the snap out of the shotgun. And now he's being pressured, and he will chuck it. And we'll wait for an intentional grounding call, and they'll say Wiley was in the area. So, boy, you can hear Josh Gerber barking. That's about that extra outstanding crowd, Mike. And he's saying that Wiley never looked for the football, and he was 15 yards down the field. They're still discussing whether they want to drop a penalty flag here. And they will not. Okay, so it's 2nd and 10. It certainly was close. I mean, there was an argument to be made for intentional grounding. There's no way Wiley was coming back to the football there. But it was thrown to that side, and he was the closest guy to the football, to be fair. So,
yeah, I mean, I guess you can make the argument that he was under pressure, so he was kind of, throwing it off his back foot while rolling away. I think there's an argument to be made for both sides of that.
I agree. And usually I'm on the side of not throwing a flag. If there's a question about it, then flag needs to not be thrown. So the first play of the second half is an incomplete pass, and Norwell does jump but doesn't get offside. And there is no room. Great pressure up the middle by Blake Hafley to make the big stop and drop the running back Snyder for a loss. 3rd and long coming for the Barons.
Well, this is exactly where you don't want to be if you're DeKalb.
4 wide on 3rd down and 12 for DeKalb. Irk to throw. He's got a man. Incomplete again. Boy, Overbay has had some big drops. The tight end has struggled tonight for DeKalb. Overbay had 4 catches last week for 58 yards, but he has struggled tonight, and they will go 3 and out on their first possession.
And that was a beautiful play design. He had him wide open on the sideline there and dropped it in the breadbasket. A tough drop there from a tight end that's having a rough night, as you said, Derek.
Logan Wilson is on to punt here for the Barons.
I mean, that seems like the 2nd or 3rd big drop DeKalb has had tonight, too. Because they dropped a few in the first half that would have been first downs.
Best punt of the night for Wilson. Bailey muffs it, then picks it up back inside the 45, and now he's got space to this side. Bailey across midfield, still has the football at the 40, and is finally forced out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Norwell again in plus territory.
Yeah, we kind of discussed at halftime about how this game kind of feels a little dead. Not much of an atmosphere. And there was a muff and a pretty big return. It didn't feel like nothing from the crowd. It just does seem kind of like a boring game tonight almost. I don't want to say boring, but it just seems
it's a little
weird.
Flat.
It's just weird.
It's a little off. Especially for this time in the season. I know these are 2 programs in different directions right now. And, Norwell's essentially playing tune-up games for sectional at this point because unless something wild happens, Leo is not losing. So they're trying to win football games and get better in the last 3 weeks of the season before it all matters in the sectional. Colbert and Graff both in the backfield. And they won't give it to either one of them. Bailey's looking for Neuenschwander on the run, doesn't have him, so he'll tuck it and run, dances back to the middle. He's still on his feet, and stiff arms another man, and he's still on his feet. Shoestring tackle made from behind the 40-yard line, and about 73 yards ran for a first down gain of 3.
I was going to say, I think that's the longest 2-yard, 3-yard run I've ever seen in my life. I mean, and in a game like this, too, that's where you kind of, if you're a Norwell fan, you kind of hold your breath a little bit. Like, let's not get hurt here late and don't do anything that's going to get yourself hurt.
Well, I guess my comment really hasn't completely come true because he still hasn't thrown an interception. But he did fumble in the first half, so I guess there's that, although that wasn't entirely on him. Graff is cut down at the 35-yard line on the 2nd down run. And it'll bring up 3rd down and about 3.
You just keep trying to jinx it, don't you?
Yeah, I'm really starting to stretch it at this point. That's fine.
Hey, well, get it out of your way before sectionals or something. Get your 1.
I already had my 1 at New Haven. I almost spoke that one into existence.
Yeah, that's true.
2 wide on 3rd and 3. It's Colbert. And Colbert has the first down. Stacked up at the 31-yard line. It will be enough to move the chains. And the Knights continue marching on their first drive of the 3rd quarter.
Well, it's just so easy. Was that 2nd or 3rd down?
That was 3rd.
3rd down and 3.
Every time.
Yeah, I mean, once again, everybody here knew what the play call was probably going to be. It was one of 2 things, a little toss to the outside or the little wham run play up the middle. And it's just, too easy. I mean, like you said, all he has to do is get 1 yard, fall forward. That's 3-yard gain and first down.
By the way, I want to congratulate Norwell on a great season in boys tennis. They fell tonight 3-2 to Huntington North in the sectional championship. There's a penalty against the Knights. Bodenheimer had his hands up like he didn't do anything.
That's usually the telltale sign that you did something.
That's absolutely right. This play's coming back. Should be about 1st and 20. Call a hold. Could have been a hold or a block in the back, really. Spot will come from the 30-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 19. There's been a handful of things tonight handful of penalties that have really hurt drives. We'll see if this one is the same case. Obviously, the only thing hanging in the balance at the moment is the running clock. If Norwell gets a touchdown here and the extra point would constitute the running clock for the remainder of the contest. Bailey will hand it off. Graft is stuffed at the line of scrimmage, and he does not have any room. Initial pressure and hit made by Landon Armstrong, the middle linebacker.
All year long, Derek, that is my least favorite play that Norwell runs. They run it every single week. It just takes way too long. I mean, I'm sorry. The little misdirection, you're pulling guys around, it just takes way too long to develop. It gives the linebackers too much time to sniff it out. You see the pulling guard, you know where the play's going. And it just takes too long. It's one I wish that Coach Gerber would throw away, quite frankly.
2nd and 19. Bailey looks to throw. Williams coming off the edge. Williams missed him. Bailey extending the play, takes another hit, and completes it across the middle to Bodenheimer. And then Bodenheimer takes a lick at the 25-yard line. And that'll go down as a gain of 15 to set up 3rd down and manageable. Another really long play, and Bailey extends it and completes a pass to Bodenheimer.
It's not much to break down right there. It was just Leighton Bailey making a play. Trey Bodenheimer being in the right spot, making a nice catch and holding on to the ball while taking a pretty big hit.
3rd down and 4 on the 25 column.
I was going to say, we've talked about how this game feels a little flat, but there's been some hitting tonight.
Yeah, there has. Graft almost stepped out of that final tackle. He is taken down after a gain of 10. The Knights, who had 2nd down and 19, now have 1st and 10 on the 15. Clock continues to move here with 7.5 to go in the 3rd quarter. The Knights are looking for that final touchdown to get the running clock. And again, it's always mentioned, when you get the running clock, it just takes away any chance for a comeback because it doesn't go back when it gets under 35. Bailey with a pass fake. Now we'll float it to the end zone. Wobbling pass. Bailey in the corner hauls it in, and it's called incomplete. Bailey came down just out of bounds. He did corral it, but his back foot was on the back line. And it'll bring up 2nd and 10. Almost an outstanding grab made by Cohen Bailey, the sophomore, in the corner of the end zone.
That was really a nice throw, too, from Leighton Bailey. He put that only where his receiver could get it in the back corner of the end zone.
Yeah, and almost when he let it go, I was like, he put too much on it, just kind of threw it out of the back of the end zone. He knew exactly where his brother was and where he could jump.
Colbert stretching it to the outside. Oh. did I say it?
with the hands up?
Yeah, you just can't keep doing it. I mean, it's been caught every time tonight. Well, that's one that's unfortunate for the Knights. Colbert was going to have a good run, but again, aided obviously by the penalty. It's a hold, and it puts Norwell behind the sticks once and again for a 2nd and long. Bailey to throw. Bailey will complete a pass, and Cohen Bailey went down to a knee to make that grab.
Bailey makes the grab.
And so he is down immediately at the 11-yard line. 3rd down and 5 upcoming for Norwell.
Boy, it seemed like he had a lot of room to run the ball there, didn't he? He got outside the pocket, got outside the end.
That's what I was thinking.
I thought he was going to take off. That's like I said, every week it just seems like he gets a little bit better throwing the ball, doesn't it?
Toss goes to Graft, almost mishandled it. Graft inside the 10, turns his shoulder inside, is knocked out of bounds at the 1-yard line just before reaching the pylon. 1st and goal coming up.
You know, I almost said, you know, I'll buy both of your guys' meal tonight after wherever we go out to eat if they pass the ball on this. But I don't know. I'm not willing to go out.
Yeah, you're not willing to do it?
No.
They might do it.
Yeah, they're spread.
They might. They got 3 wide.
I mean, yeah, I was going to say, they're spread out.
New and Schwander at the top. Shelton in the slot. Bailey to the near side, and they'll hand it off to Graft. Well, I don't know if he did not get there. Well, how surprising is that? Boy, we've almost made it a given at this point. When the Knights are inside the 5, they're scoring. And Graft is unsuccessful in the first play.
They still have 3 more tries.
And it looked like he got about 2 feet, actually. So.
I kind of hope we see like a fade or something, just really catch us off guard.
I would love it. Now's the time to do it on second down. I mean,
you got one-on-one at the top there.
Right.
Nope.
Bodenheimer in for the touchdown. Trey Bodenheimer. And have to go back to look at the stats on that, but that might be his first touchdown of the year, maybe his second. In any case, it puts Norwell up 34-0 with 5.5 left in this third quarter.
I mean, that's a typical Norwell drive right there.
Oh, yeah.
That's when they tip their cap on. 11 play, long, methodical, took a lot of time off the clock. And, I mean, they just do what they always do. They ran the ball 8 times, threw it 3 times. I mean, that's everything that they do.
Very important extra point here.
Well, he hasn't missed yet.
Gee whiz.
And the jinx officially does not exist. 35-0 Norwell. Craigville Appliance has been serving Northeast Indiana for 100 years. They buy in bulk all over the country and pass the savings on to their customers at 2383 North Main Street in Craigville. And Cleaning One Incorporated is your cleaning specialist. Commercial, home or office, windows, strip and wax floors, sanitize your facilities, carpets, and so much more. Send Rob or Bob a message at officeonecleaning@yahoo.com.
You know, once we get into a game like this, it's easy to kind of sit up here and fool around. We don't break it down as much, but it was nice to see Norwell overcome a few penalties on that drive. I mean, there's, 2 holding calls?
Yeah. Yep, on Bodenheimer.
Yep,
and he gets the touchdown.
Right, and they're able to overcome them and, you know, get a touchdown. That, you know, like I said, it's kind of, these games get out of hand, and we just kind of start goofing around up here, but that was good to see on that drive.
Well, we've had plenty of practice at that this year. The Knights have now reached the running clock for the 4th time this year. Well, technically the 5th time, although once it was not in their favor. Leo did it to them back in week 3, but this is the 5th time we've had a running clock this year in 7 games.
I just can't say enough how much I wish that this running clock was a thing
Where
when
was
I was
that?
in high school.
Where was it?
I mean, good night. We could have really used that.
Graff's kickoff inside the 10. Wiley. And McCabe once again making the tackle on special teams. Just about every time you can count on McCabe making the play on a kickoff. And Dekalb will start on the 24.
Barons will start on the 24-yard line. I was invited.
Well, this is a game where it's just amazing, isn't it? That last week, Dekalb won 50-49 in an absolute shootout. Got home to watch the 4th quarter of that game. That speaks volumes about how fast the Norwell game was, but I got home to watch the 4th quarter of that game last week. And Dekalb really had a miraculous finish. They were down 49-35 going into the 4th quarter, and then Coach Wilcox decided to make the ballsy call and go for 2, and it paid off. They won 50-49. This week, they've been close to scoring precisely once in this contest against an excellent Norwell defense that's going on their 9th straight quarter without giving up a point. Norwell in the top 10 in defensive average in 3A. Take away the Leo game, which you really can't take it away. I'm just saying, if you take it away, it's really way better. Montoya has it broken up. Cade Shelton reaching that long arm from behind to make the play.
Yeah, and Cade Shelton's gotten much better on those slant routes, defending the slant routes as the game's gone on. As he's seen them more and more, he's getting more on top of the receiver and getting tighter on that slant route.
Well, we are really going to cruise from here, folks. We're under 4 minutes, and the clock is still moving on these incomplete passes. 2 receivers set to the left, 1 to the right on 3rd and 9. claps for the snap. Rusu through the line. Rusu chasing him, and he gets him. Aiden Rusu gets the sack for the Knights. Sack number 1 on the year, and team sack number 7. Bolin had one in the first half, and Dekalb goes 3 and out once again.
I can't remember if it was him that Norwell kept blitzing in the first half, but they've been bringing that little linebacker blitz up the middle all night. They've come close to getting him a few times, and that time they were able to keep him from rolling out, keep him from escaping. And, once again, man, we're seeing how good this Norwell defense can be.
Rusu's had a good night. I think he's in here we got pre-snap penalty again, and it's encroachment this time. Knights were a little antsy. Rusu's a guy that doesn't get talked about enough at linebacker, but he makes a lot of difference on the defensive side of the ball for the Knights. He's been really good, solid all year, stays away from the injury bug. He's a reliable guy, and Rusu, again, makes another good play here to get the sack and force Dekalb into yet another punt. It's not a team that's punted a ton the last couple of weeks, but they've definitely struggled with that tonight. Norwell's defense has forced them into a lot of situations where they wouldn't like to be. Cohen Bailey receives the punt, bobbles it again at the 50, and taken down immediately with a penalty.
They're going to call a block in the back.
On Neuschwander?
Yeah.
Well, he blocked him right into him, so that's probably a penalty you can eat. Yeah, you're right, Colin. It is going to be a block in the back. Well, the Knights have had a ton of penalties tonight.
Yeah,
they had 6 of them last week for 63 yards. They're over that mark tonight.
This one, though, I don't know how often that would get called in most games. Like you said, Derek, I think this is one that could have been eaten.
Well, especially at this point in the game, whatever. It's a beautiful night again for football. Although this time of year, you definitely notice it's cooling off a lot faster. It was very warm. It was actually close to 80 degrees when we got here. We're now down close to the 60-degree mark. It's cooled off significantly on a perfect night. There is no wind to speak of here in Waterloo tonight. Just a clear night here in Indiana on week 7. Sometimes we have weather issues up here. Not the case tonight. First down for the Knights back on the 40 after the penalty. That is Drew Graft getting the carry. The freshman stacked up at the 41, and he took a smack right at the 41-yard line after a gain of a yard. Man, he took a big lick on his first run of the night.
Yeah, and he got thrown to the ground there after the whistle. That's one thing in a game like this officials have to keep under control is after the whistle stuff. Just make sure nothing gets stupid. I didn't think it was over the top there or anything worth a flag, but just something worth noting.
I've been wondering all night, Derek. They've been running that little toss play Norwell has a lot tonight. And like Alex said in the first half, it seems like maybe they saw something on film where they thought they could attack the outer edge.
Counter to McCabe. McCabe has a first down and finally tracked down from behind by Landon Armstrong. First down for Norwell.
And DeKalb finally made an adjustment. But that's a play I don't know that I've seen Norwell run that play before this year. That's almost like a quicker count. I talk about how long that misdirection takes. That's almost like a quicker version of it. You pull one lineman around and hand it off to that H-back. It hits a lot quicker. That's a good little play call.
That brings us to the end of the third quarter. Norwell leading DeKalb 35-0 after 3 on WellsCountyVoice.com.
When looking to sell or buy a home in Wells County, it's so important to work with an experienced full-time agent from the local area. I'm Bev Grish, and I'm beginning my 24th year helping families in the real estate business and would love to guide your family through the process. When you choose to work with a local agent who knows the Wells County market, you are a step ahead. I have built good working relationships with local lenders, realtors, inspectors, contractors, and appraisers, and it helps the process go smoothly. Whether you are buying your first home, a larger home, investment property, dream home, selling a long-time family business, or downsizing into retirement, I'm here to help. Heartfelt thanks for supporting me 24 years in the real estate business I truly love. Bev sells Wells at 466-1822.
Fourth quarter begins. Norwell up 35-0. Screen pass to Trace Mosier on the first play of the quarter, and he's almost going to go for a first down gain. Landon Armstrong making the tackle once again from behind. Mosier gets 7 on first down. Well, just got a score update from East Noble Columbia City. And they are now all square at 13 apiece late in the third quarter. It's a good one. Not expected to be a good one.
That one surprises me a little bit.
Columbia City's offense has been good, though, for what it's worth. They did beat DeKalb a couple weeks ago, 51-28. They've been routinely in the 50s and 60s. And there is a first down for Drew Graft, who is pushed to the boundary across the 30. Clock not stopping in this fourth quarter.
And East Noble the last couple weeks have had big problems scoring for a team that's averaged, 40-some points a game.
Yeah, they were in the top couple in the state coming into the Norwell game before getting blanked.
Right, so here in the last couple weeks, they've really had problems putting points on the board, and that's definitely a concern as sectionals loom.
Yeah, against a Columbia City team's defense, who is not very good. I mean, there's not any other way to put that. That's a team that spreads it out and goes. That became a shootout last year at the Courtyard. Norwell winning 45-34, coming from behind on a sweep. This is, wow. Almost looked like a face mask there at the end. Helmet almost came off. In any case, it was Hayden Bennett, the sophomore, on the carry for the Knights, and by my count, that's his first carry of the season. He gets a couple on first down.
Man, Norwell brings in some of the backups, except that quarterback for some
it's
reason.
Weird.
But anyway,
well, Graft is in the game, and he's the backup quarterback.
They're kind of opening up the playbook. I mean, I don't see them run that little end around very often, or that last play in the third quarter too. I hadn't seen him run very often.
Toss to Drew Graft. Graft tries to sprint to the outside, and he will not make it to the edge. Mitch Snyder drags him down, and starter's still in the game for DeKalb. The opposite side of the football. Third and long here coming up for Norwell.
That was the freshman in him right there, not knowing when to cut it up, because he had a little bit of room. You know, not every play is going to be a home run play, and that's something that you don't like to hear as a freshman or maybe inexperienced player. He needs to learn when to cut that up and get what he can.
Yeah, and Drew Graff is a tremendous athlete already as a freshman, so he has the ability to put the foot in the ground and go north-south real quick.
Yeah, I'd argue he's quicker than his brother. He's obviously not as well put together yet. Here's a screen pass to Bennett, and Bennett just kind of lunged out for it, and it's incomplete. Fourth down and about 12 coming up here for Norwell, although they're in a spot where they're very much going to go for it. Norwell led this game 28-0 at halftime. It is 35-0 with a running clock. Nine straight quarters plus without giving up any points. Toss to Drew Graft. Graft is not going to have enough for the first down, and they will turn it over. Well, guys, if this score holds, surprisingly, this is DeKalb's 7th game. This would be their 3rd lowest defensive total put up against them this year. The last 3 weeks, they have given up 45, 51, and 49 against East Noble, Columbia City, and Huntington North. Norwell, well, frankly, is close to being to that number if they finish off a couple of drives here tonight. They also obviously had the pick 6 in the first half. And DeKalb, I think, still has starting receivers on the field. And handoff up the middle. Not a lot of room in there. Looked like Mitch Snyder again on the carry.
And, yeah, you know, we're talking about how it's 35-0, another running clock. But really, if you take away about 3 plays in this game, the pick 6, the 75, 80-yard run from Graft, and just maybe a play-calling mistake on that long drive that DeKalb had in the first half, this is a very different game. I mean,
it is. It's a much lower scoring game.
You hear so often that, you know, football games come down to actually about 4 to 5 plays that really define a game, and that is so true today, because this game could be much different than what it is.
Mitch Snyder is stopped near the line of scrimmage. Looked like Parker Capps coming in to make the play for the Knights, the 6-foot sophomore. Third down. Three to the left, 1 to the right. And Mitch Snyder in the backfield next to Irk. Irk going for the home run, and it's incomplete. Donnie Wiley kind of got turned around near the sideline there, and Forcing him to the sideline was Aaron Vanhoff. It's 4th and 10, and DeKalb's going to punt.
That was just DeKalb trying to take advantage of maybe some backup defensive backs. That was just your old simple 4 verts.
Go.
And throw the ball as far as you can. And, once again, just another 3 and out for DeKalb. DeKalb's ended up having, they've had 3. This is their 3rd drive.
They haven't had a first down in the second half,
I was
right?
going to say, this is their 3rd drive here in the second half, and all 3 of them have been 3 and outs.
Another punt here for Logan Wilson. Norwell did not have a return man back, which is interesting. And it will roll to a rest back at the 22-yard line. Well, Nathan with Shelton Financial Group has a goal to build long-lasting, deep personal connections with his clients. Visit their new location on the north side of Ossian in the old bank building. Also, Barclay Builders has been building residential and commercial properties since 1981, and they take pride in building their clients the best project for their budget. Let Barclay Builders get starting on building your Barclay Built Forever home. Give them a call at 260-622-7674. And Farmers and Merchant State Bank, located in Bluffton and Ossian, from checking and savings accounts to home loans, personal loans, commercial and agricultural services. Stop in and see how they can meet your financial need at F&M. It's always about you and us. F&M, member FDIC. 1st and 10 for Norwell at the 23-yard line. Toss on first down goes to Drew Graft, who cuts it back upfield, turns it up along the hash marks, and he picks up about 5 yards on first down. Tackle made on the inside for the Barons by a couple guys that are not on the varsity roster. And Tucker Halpert in on the stop as well.
Derek, going back to that last point about them not having a first down here in the second half, I just tallied it up. DeKalb has had 10 drives tonight. 7 of them have been 3 plays or under.
Ouch.
7 of them.
Oh, that's right, because they had the pick 6 on the first play.
They had a pick 6, and then right before half, they only ran 2 plays before halftime hit.
Another counter for McCabe. McCabe dragging tacklers forward, and close to a first down. Knights will make a couple more subs, and I think they will credit him with a first down. Move the chains. 4 minutes left.
I think they should have measured that.
Well, they brought it all the way across the 53 yards in the first half at the 2-yard line. I'd say the chain gang's good for about one of those a night in high school. McCabe. Ooh, boy, he's plowing guys over. McCabe lowering his shoulder out to the 40-yard line. So the Knights have Huntington North next week for senior night and pork chops. And then Columbia City coming up on the road. It'll be our first trip to the new facility at Columbia City. Looking forward to getting up there. That really looks like a gorgeous facility. And we'll be happy to bring you Week 9 football action. Again, that was a dandy last year. Graft is stopped for a loss. But that was a shootout last year at the Courtyard. TJ Bedwell, a star receiver, though, graduated. Greg Bolt's still there. And you could make a very good case that he's the best quarterback in the conference. Jakar Williams is right there with him, but the Knights very easily shut down Jakar Williams up at New Haven a couple of weeks ago. Greg Bolt is hard to stop. He is your prototypical pocket passing guy. Big, tall, 6'5", can stand in the pocket and really sling it. Just doesn't quite have the weapons on the outside that he did a year ago. This pass is complete to the outside and being dragged down from behind. That's Connor Dryban making the catch for Norwell, just shy of a first down.
4th and 2 for the Knights.
Also, just got an update from the Columbia City game. The Eagles have retaken the lead with a field goal, 16-13, with 10 minutes to go. So shaping up for a good finish there. 4th and 1, looks like the Knights are going for it with about 2 minutes left.
Is that at Columbia City tonight?
I believe it is. I believe it's at Columbia City.
Could have just made the trip up to Kendallville to watch the end of it.
Well, it's at Columbia City, so
I know,
going to Kendallville wouldn't have done you
there.
any good. Yeah, you're right. McCabe gets the first down, and the Knights are down to running just a couple of plays. Yeah, we're not that far, although when you're making the drive, it feels like it's a lot farther than going to DeKalb.
That's true.
90 seconds to go. The Knights leading 35-0, 28 points in the first half. Pick 6 by Colbert, an extra rushing touchdown for Colbert as well. Knights doing it all on the ground once again here tonight as expected. They have thrown it more, but the bulk of their offensive success has been on the ground. Graft slips a tackle. This is the freshman, Drew Graft. He's got a first down. Look at that speed. Drew Graft might go the distance. Graft goes 55 yards for a touchdown.
And we talked about his athleticism and the ability of Drew Graft there to put his foot in the ground and gain speed, and you just saw it there. I mean, he's so quick for a freshman, and he's going to be more developed and as he goes on his high school career, so good to see him break one there for a touchdown.
Yeah, he's going to be exciting to watch. I mean, he broke a few tackles on that play. He's broken some tackles tonight, and he's just a freshman, and we already see he has the speed, and he's probably only going to get faster as he goes.
And we've said it too, like the run he had at Heritage in garbage time up there. When he gets to the second level, he turns it on, man, and he is hard to catch.
And keep in mind, he's kind of filling in for Tim Bonjour tonight too.
Right.
So they're going to have another 2 really good
that's right.
running backs.
Once Bonjour gets healthy again next year, and he's got some real talent. We were impressed with him in his 4-game season.
Well, the thing is, Graft and Colbert are only juniors.
Right.
The older Graft, at least.
Kick is good for De Leon. Makes him 6 for 6 on the night. They will let this clock expire, and that'll be the final play of the night. And Norwell will win 42-0. Fellas, Norwell gets an easy victory here on the road tonight. As expected, we thought that the Knights might pull away in this one. It took them maybe a little bit longer, Colin, than we thought it might, but they were able to use the advantage of a couple big plays, including a pick 6 to jumpstart the offense, and then a Dekalb mistake in the red zone to take advantage and take a big lead.
Yeah, this game went from kind of making you pucker up a little bit, getting a little bit nervous, to running clock in the second half, and we were out of here pretty quickly. If you're Norwell, you kind of like what you saw, threw the ball a little bit more. You can tell they're starting to work on some things, get ready for sectional.
Yeah.
I mean, we got one more next week that, for being honest, Norwell should kind of run away with again. And then if you're looking at that East Noble Columbia City score going, all right, we may have a good one to finish up this regular season.
All right, Alex, Norwell comes up with Huntington North next week on senior night, a game again. This is a team similar in build and makeup to this DeKalb squad. You've got it senior night, trying to lock in last home game of the regular season before the sectional comes up. Should be another tune-up game. But obviously, Josh Gerber's group's got to bring it again next week.
Yeah, and they're, like you said, they're getting tuned up for sectionals. At the same time, you want to work on new stuff, kind of keep the teams on their toes, not show too much film going into sectionals. But you also want to get better as a team. You want to nail down your blocking patterns. You want to kind of sharpen up the things that need to be sharpened up. But at the same time, you're trying to keep the injury list relatively short going into sectional.
That does it for us here from Waterloo. For Alex Howard and Colin Schwartz, as well as our entire Voice Sports Network crew, including our owners Scott and Dale Menser, I'm Derek Decker saying so long and God bless.
We hope you enjoyed this broadcast of high school sports on the Voice Enterprises. Remember, none of this would be possible without the continued support of our sponsors. Please use their services whenever possible, and when you see them, tell them thank you. Join us again next time on the Voice Enterprises.